And here's the thing, too, for guys, I mean, Merchant just kind of got caught up back there, but you're DeLongpre, you're battling for a championship. Tim Green, you're battling for a win and sort of in that championship race conversation as well if he gets a couple good runs here. They have to go hard. And every time these tires, every time we have a caution, there's a little bit of cool down. It's not quite as at the peak. And then you go from that to going full tilt, trying to push for the lead.
Well,
it's a recipe for chaos.
Well, as a result of all of this shifting around, now the 2 points battle guys are right next to each other in 9th and 10th. How do you like that for circumstances? They're literally right next to each other. And if this continues here, if the weather continues, we're going to have blinding sunshine here in the next 10 minutes for about 10 minutes. If the cloud deck goes the way it's looking, which is going to change the racetrack and make a huge blind spot in turn number 2 on top of everything else. There we go. Let's watch this battle.
Yeah, you see him right at the top of your screen. Boersma was in there. And
there you go.
Yeah, you see Josh Fry looking on the inside. That's Tim Green who ran
Fry
on the
gets on the brakes.
Yeah, he saw Eric Vaughn's 33 and it's like, nope, I am not going to do that today. Because he knows if he wrecks his car, he's done. That's done for the night. So we're back under green. Another great restart for Denny Anderson, and we're going to bring this one back. Tony Postma stoic up top. We'll try it again. Everyone calm down before something happens. Please and thank you.
Yep. Yeah, cold temps and a little hot nerves today as we're getting towards the end of the season. This race was pretty uneventful yesterday, but got to think we'll talk to maybe some of these drivers after we get done with this race, or some of the template race car. You got to think the cold temps and cold tires are playing into this. These cars are dancing like we have not seen them all year, and nothing else has changed other than a pretty significant temperature drop.
Which is why that break at lap 100 tonight is just
it's gonna and 50 for that matter.
Yeah. Well, the 100 breaks when the car shut off entirely. So we'll try it again. Anderson and Root. That's been the 1-2 pretty much all night long up top. Benny Van Wynen, how about this, by the way? Still on the outside of row 2.
Up to 4th. He's got through everything so far.
Another good restart for Denny Anderson, though. Root trying to stay close, as is Alan Davis. You see the big guns, Fry and DeLongpre trying to come up through the back. Right now, these are the 1, 2, 3 that you see.
And Root's able to get in front of Alan Davis for the first time on the restart. They had been battling side by side. Trying to get second place away. Denny Anderson has been perfect. Had the best spot in the house up there in the front row.
Tim Green off the backstretch, now up to 4th with Benny Van Wynen falling to 5th. Josh Fry on a charge right now, trying to keep that gap between him and Nick DeLongpre. It's a couple spots as it stands right now with Root and Tom Boersma between them.
Up to 6th.
Here's the battle for second. Alan Davis looking to the inside of Scott Root. We have 13 laps to go. And here's Mike Root trailing Josh Fry as well.
Sun just came out. We talked about it. It's going to get really bright and hard to see here for these drivers in turn 2. You can see the glare hit the camera. So, Alan Davis gets loose on the side of Scotty Root. He's going to spin in front of the whole field. Tags the side of Tim Green a little bit. Thankfully, spins down to the inside. And all of a sudden, the blinding sunshine comes out. You can see the racetrack, and Scotty Root just barely caught a piece of Tim Green, and he's going to go pit side. Or he's going to stay out for the moment. There's a piece of debris there. Wow.
All right, so if you love good restarts, kiddos, we're going to get another one again.
Let's watch this.
I mean, they got closer in the last green flag run, and you just kind of felt this one was going to happen. And
they both tried to save it. Scotty Root almost gets it saved.
And it's hard, and you can't just say Alan went up there and tried to hit him. I just think he went into the corner.
No, they were just racing.
Yeah,
so he gets a little piece of Alan Davis there, and a tiny little piece of Tim Green. That could have been so much worse for everybody. We've had 3 or 4 of these tonight, Tyler, where it could have been so much worse.
I think when you're going to have, 18, 19 template cars out there, that might be a different spot, but
debris on the track, cleaning that up. And as you can see, the sunshine is peeked through here, and it is blindingly bright here after having no sun all day. Cold temps, and this is going to change the feel of the racetrack even more here, as if it hasn't been a handful enough.
Here's one more look. They're coming at the right side of your screen, and here comes Root.
Scotty Root nails the gas, trying to keep it down to the inside, and
kerplunk. There goes part of his front.
Tiny little piece there. Well, you see a couple
Tiny
more
little piece.
Wow.
Well, after what happened early in the season, Matt, we cannot judge what debris looks like from our angle because it's a little smaller chunk of plastic. Nope, it's a hunk of metal.
Definitely a little piece of something's there, several. Scotty Root stays out with the damage.
So we'll see where he gets put with all that.
Denny Anderson, Scotty Root, Alan Davis, Tim Green, Josh Fry. Let's go to pit road.
I was a little surprised. We went hunting down to the pits to see him come in, or expecting to see him come in, because as you guys are mentioning, I mean, the fascia, including, I'm surprised there's not radiator damage on that car. There is heavy damage all over the front of that race car. It took a big chunk out of the fascia, and I mean, I'm sure the front downforce that we know is so important on these cars is taking a hit as well. So I was a little surprised to not see Root come pit side.
All right, with that, we got a couple more minutes before we go back under green. Safety truck pulls in. Let's quickly go down to Rick James, who's getting ready for the band warm-up.
Hey, guys. Project 90 is here tonight at the Electrical Innovations stage. Just one of the many entertainments we have for the fans after the show. We're going to have plenty of fireworks on the track, but a lot of entertainment off the track once we're all set here. Love the fact that we have these weekly acts to come out here and keep all of us entertained, not just for the racing, but for music, too.
Yeah, what's with those lights behind the stage? That's pretty cool. Can you like control those?
I personally can't, but when the sun finally sets, it's going to be a beautiful show here. Might be worth another look afterwards.
Yeah, we'll come down when the sun sets here about 50 minutes. Thank you, Rick.
Beautiful.
Appreciate it. We're getting ready to get this one back underway, and the fans are going to enjoy it. We do music here. Oh, there's a piece of it right there.
I think it's supposed to be attached to the race car.
That was the front end nose piece of this aforementioned Scotty Root car.
I once knew somebody who had the front fender of Johnny Benson's old 30 Pennzoil car.
Was it hanging up in somebody's garage somewhere? There's a lot of Johnny Benson pieces floating all over.
Oh, it was the whole front bumper got ripped off somewhere. I don't know where they got it from, but it was the coolest thing ever because I was like 4 years old trying to lift this thing.
There it is.
Yep. And hand it to the kid.
Yep. Take it home.
It's bigger than the kid.
See, she's wearing a lot. Yeah, we can reuse that. Those things aren't cheap. All right, back under green. 13 laps to go. Denny Anderson and now Alan Davis, your new front row. And somehow Josh Fry is up to 4th position after surviving this long one.
Davis trying to get a little loose on that restart, trying to make it stick on that high line. Scott Root goes off under power.
Yeah, so Scotty's going to have to call it quits after a tough afternoon, after a good race yesterday. Alan Davis almost knocks the backside of Denny Anderson, battling for the lead. Tim Green with the you got to think a tiny little bit of damage. Maybe works for the shot at the 3rd position. That's the 21 car.
Green trying to keep it close there and trying to maybe close the gap a little bit on Fry. DeLongpre trying to stick up there. He's following Scott Root right now in 6th. Fry right now trying to hang on to 4th as well. That's the battle for the championship. Root on the inside.
Mike Root, the 9 car, is your fast qualifier tonight. Hasn't had a shot at the front yet, but we keep getting caution flags. And Mike Root, dang near got taken out twice and somehow survived both of those. He's trying to get around Josh Fry.
I was about to say, you look at it, Mike Root, your fast qualifier. Josh Fry spins, Mike Root avoids it. Nick DeLongpre spins, Mike Root goes off the backstretch, and here he is passing Josh Fry for 4th. Somehow Mike Root, his car has been hooked up tonight.
Yeah, if you're Mike Root, you got plenty of stories to tell when this one's over, right? Throw Fry back to 5th. DeLongpre's up to 6th now, so that's going to keep the points battle near identical again. The points leaders can't seem to get away from each other. 8 to go for Denny Anderson, who has not really pulled away super far from Alan Davis.
Well, he's probably thinking, why burn up all my stuff? I'm going to have to do a restart in 2 laps. That's kind of been the pattern of this race.
This one's finally settled down a little bit after some pretty wild stuff for the limited lates.
Kind of looked like the limited late model scene we had a couple of years ago.
Yeah, when we had different tires, different cars, but usually this series has been a little more on the uneventful side this year. But today, plenty of eventful.
Well, you know, you gotta make it interesting. You gotta make it fun for the fans here on this Battle of the Pros night. Got to stand out with the big crowd.
6 to go for Denny Anderson. Alan Davis having probably one of his best runs of the season. And the 1 car, boy, if you're Alan, you'd love to get this one away from Denny. It's going to be tough, though.
Yeah, you're going to need another caution and a Hail Mary restart, right? I mean, that's how consistent Denny has been tonight in this race in particular. Started on the front row, on the outside, just like Scotty Root did, and it worked for Anderson. And ever since then, even though he's been on the inside on the restarts, he has been efficient And now he's looking at only 4 laps to go.
Yeah, stretched it out a little bit there. Yeah, you got to think on a racetrack like this, with conditions changing the way they are, advantage Anderson and people like that who have been here a long time. And looks like he's cruising now. He stretches out a little bit more over Alan Davis.
Mentioned the guy Scotty Root. Scotty Root had so much damage. Let's see if we can get a look at his car and how bad it was for Scott Root. I mean, you talk about the damage he had. They had to rip off the whole front fender.
He got hit twice. Yeah, we can take a quick look here as we see 2 to go.
There was, it had some damage at the front, had some damage in the back. Yeah, you see, you kind of look at it there.
Yeah, and there's stuff leaking too, so.
That doesn't look right.
Now, a couple tough hits. Yeah, you see the steam from the radiator there. Tough break for Scott Root, who had a good car tonight and a really good run yesterday, but hopefully they can make repairs and be back next week. 1 to go for the veteran Denny Anderson, who absolutely had him covered today. He also had the best starting spot and probably the best place to be on the racetrack, the safe spot, which is out front. So I think Denny's going to win this one. This will be his 2nd win of the year.
2nd win in 2 years, if you count it. Denny Anderson picks up the win. Alan Davis finishes 2nd, Tim Green 3rd, Mike Root 4th, and more importantly, maybe for DeLongpre's sake, Fry only finishes 5th, DeLongpre 6th.
Benny Van Wyn and Tom Boers by Eric Vaughn, Eric Merchant, Bob Bliss, Tyler Davis, Scotty Root, and Billy Epic.
You know, for a race, Matt McKenzie, where we say, oh, the guy went green to checkers and wins the race, we think that's a boring night. That was all but. How many cautions do we have in that one? Well, we had 20 green flag laps. We had the comp caution.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. And those 6, or if you include the comp yellow, all those were in the second half of the race.
Right, they were.
Well, if you thought tonight was going to be boring, I come back up here and it's no longer boring. No, last night wasn't boring at all, but this explosive start certainly to the Battle of the Pros night.
Yeah, and the last thing that needs to happen here is Denny Anderson needs to cross the scales and pass, and if he does,
that'd be the only drama probably he's had so far. Everything's been behind him tonight.
there's Don DeWitt. So as soon as Denny crosses the line here, we'll get a quick word with him in victory lane. Denny's been racing here since 1976. It'll be his 50th anniversary next year if he continues to run. And I imagine if you keep winning the way he is, he'll do just that. Fans are getting treated to some giveaways and t-shirt toss and some other good stuff here tonight.
Giving away a 75-inch TV.
Yeah,
Matt.
I saw that. I'm not sure where that is, but
all I'm saying is,
yeah, maybe
can I quit for the night?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can have Rick find out where the TV is. I don't even know where that is.
But yeah, no, it's let's see here. By the way, I was just doing a quick check of the mathematician here. DeLongpre came in this race 45 points back. Now he's 49 points back, having to lost 4 points back.
Okay, so
not out of the race yet for the championship, but Fry's got the advantage.
Fry's got the advantage. So Fry's got to hit cruise control, have no disasters, and he will be your champion. We'll see what happens.
Well, he avoided a lot of disasters tonight.
Yeah, both of these guys. In fact, they both did, really.
Yeah.
There's Denny. Second win on the season for Denny Anderson in the 18. From the front row, let's go to victory lane.
Denny Anderson wins his 2nd of the season. Emotions going all around down here. Such a chaotic race. Just talk about what it was like on those restarts through your eyes during this wild one.
Yeah, the restarts are pretty good for me. I was glad for the yellows because I was getting tight in the middle, and after the yellows, the car got a lot better. So, man, oh man, this is awesome. I got to thank my crew. They busted their ass on this thing this week. We put a new engine on it. Wow, you guys, thank you.
You've raced basically this entire season. You won already so far. That came back in July. You finally got your 2nd here tonight. What's it like going in towards the end of this season, getting those 2 wins?
Yeah, it feels good, especially finding the right setup for this car tonight. It was an awesome deal. I got to thank our sponsors, Merchant Automotive, DJ Slick Truck, Fracano's, I don't have my glasses on, Grand Valley Glass, West Michigan Glass Coating, WWS, Huawei Auto Sales, Downtown Trini's Margaritas, HL Advantage, Mark Cowan Auctioneers, Jacobson Concrete, Ironwood Bar and Grill, and Architectural Glass and Molds.
Well, congratulations. Denny Anderson gets another win here tonight.
People are taking notes from Josh Fry.
Yeah,
get a card with all your sponsors. You can't mess them up, right?
Yeah, Denny's got that Michigan Motorsports Hall of Fame patch on him. That's the most jumping around I think I've seen him do all year. Nice
Trying
job.
to stay warm down there.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about it earlier, but fans are getting T-shirt toss here, and someone's also trying to launch a drone up here, and they, I don't know if it looks like you just caught it. I think we're giving away a TV tonight, Rick. Let's go back down to you. We got a couple minutes. The fans are getting a T-shirt toss out here. Let's go back downstairs.
Guys, I'm excited about that. I want to win that TV. Are you kidding me? Who doesn't want to get in that TV raffle? But it's not just the TV. I mean, obviously, we have that for the fans as well. We've got the left turn lounge as well, starting to fill up just a little bit. This is where fans can get away out of the cold, if you will. I mean, you can see hoodies all around. Another one of the things that we don't see here that often, how about a Detroit Pistons golf cart with Lindsey Hunter's autograph on it?
That's something I don't think anybody else has.
No, this thing's amazing. And then we have the matching Red Wings golf cart on the other side as well. This is something you literally don't see every week here. Fans enjoying it as well. Just one of the many things that surprises me and entertains us just week after week at one of the best tracks in the country.
Is that his autograph on that, or yeah?
No, that is his autograph. Can we get look at this close right here? This is Lindsey Hunter's autograph on this awesome Detroit. Guys, what do I have to do to win this thing?
Not work here, I think. I don't think we're eligible.
Well, no, the trick is just get it and drive it off. I don't think you can win it. That's probably the only way you're going to get it, right?
Don't tempt me. I'll find a key.
Kent County Sheriff Department, yes, dispatch. There is a Detroit Pistons golf cart driving across 96.
At 25 miles an hour, right?
They got to catch me first.
All right, thank you, Rick. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a break and come back. We'll reset. Sportsman coming up next, and we'll check your text messages, too. Let us know where you're watching. 616-816-7816. We'd love to hear from you on the Berlin Raceway text line. I'm Matt McKenzie along with Tyler Cool there, you see. 616-816-7816. We'll say hi to you when we come back. Sportsmen are coming up next, too. Glad you're part of the action. You're watching Berlin Raceway and Flow. Be right back. And you're back at Berlin Racing. Glad to have you along. Matt McKenzie along with Tyler Cool. And you on the text line, 616-816-7816. Got just a minute here to say hi. and check in. We got Bob watching from Rhode Island tonight. Thank you for checking on the Berlin Raceway
But
text
where
line.
in Rhode Island?
It just says Rhode Island in capital letters because it's a small state. It needs a biggest.
But there's Cranston, Rhode Island. There's Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah, I
there's
spent
like
2
3 other
summers in
cities
Providence.
Rhode
I
Island.
really enjoyed it. It was very cool, except I was too tall to fit in most of the old buildings.
I thought you were saying too tall to fit in the state.
Well, the doorways, the buildings from the 1700s don't fit tall people so well. We got Bobby and Crystal Stremme watching from South Bend, Indiana. Let's go, Josh Fry. All right. Thank you so much checking in. We got Eric from Stone Mountain, Georgia saying hi. Thank you so much, Eric. We got Steven watching from Long Island, New York today. Hey, Steven, thanks for checking in. All right. Thank you so much. April Upping just checked in and wanted to see how bad the car was for Billy. Yeah, that was a tough night for Billy. I think it looked like a handling issue. We'll follow up with him a little bit later on tonight.
Didn't seem like it was like a mechanical thing. He just probably felt loose and felt a little dangerous.
And Ken Epping checking in as well. Yeah.
Everyone's wrong. What's wrong with Billy?
Yeah, he was all right. Thank you so much. Just missed Billy's race as well. Yeah, Billy had a tough night tonight. It's a tough break for Billy in the 8 car, but he'll be back to race another night, and at least he got off the track safely and no issues there at all. Sportsman to be coming up next.
Yeah, Sportsman's. This is an interesting race because it's another points race for Josh Fry. He just hopped in his car. He's getting ready to get down there and get all fired up. Rick James, I think I see him. He's actually right down the hall from us. He's up here in the suites. Rick, what do you see down there?
Guys, let's go to another one of my favorite parts of the track here, like you mentioned, the suites. We're going to bother the good folks over here in the Classic Concrete Suite number 7, and it's not just a box to check out the races. We'll see if we can make it on through on the way outdoors here, but this is one of the best parts of the track, one of the best amenities. If we can squeeze through, we get to go outside. We get to watch some of the racing, not just from the comfort with a handful of popcorn and a cold drink, but you can hear, smell, taste the atmosphere at Berlin. Every time you turn the corner, this place just gets cooler and cooler.
Literally, you see the cars coming out from behind them. We have 11 suites here. You can rent a couple. Some are long-term rentals, but you can have them all year long if you want. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for enjoying having a good time up there. Again, you saw that bright sunshine behind Rick's shoulders. We're going to start this race in the sun and end it under the lights, I'd imagine, the way things are shaping up.
If the race went like the limited late model race that I would suspect that would be the case once again. But yeah, good field of cars here. Lots of winners and lots of guys that certainly have a shot at winning this race. Nate Dreyer is on the grid right now with the man of the hour, man of the 2-week hour, if you will. He is with Josh Fry.
He's even taking the window net down for me. Josh Fry in the championship fight so far tonight. Looks right now getting a bit of word on the race series ready to go. Josh gets started on the outside of the third row. Take us through the mindset for this one as you continue to try to battle for 2 championships.
I'm telling you, with what happened in the last race, we just, I don't know. Everybody, it must be a little more antsy. It's been 2 days. Now you don't have to worry about fixing it. You got another week and a lot of aggressive driving. But yeah, we just got to get through another 40 laps. Car hasn't been great, but I'm just hoping that we all play nice and neat. We get a competition caution, reset, run another 20. We all bring them home, and maybe a week from now we can settle that championship hunt.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, to the other side of the championship battle, Ryan Pilon with Ryan Holtzlander.
Yep, Ryan Holtzlander starting pretty far back and didn't seem like you were that confident or didn't like the practice that you had, but after watching that limited late model race, I think a lot of things are up in the air. You're starting all the way back here. The restart's going to be a big thing. What's the mindset coming into this race?
Hope the car's better than it was in practice. If it's not, we ain't got a shot at this at all, but we made a lot of changes and hopefully it's better, but the mindset is come out here, race, bring the car home, and hope for the best.
Well, good luck here tonight. We'll send it back up to you guys.
All right, 2 guys in the points championships, 1 and 2 there, as you saw. The leader, Josh Fry, in the 44, Ryan Holtzlander, Jake, and both of these guys former champions in this division, chasing each other for the championship win. All right, here's your starting lineup. Again, the sun is bright here, and it will be for the next 5-10 minutes, and then it will go down, and then we'll end this one in the dark, under the lights. Corey Holtzlander still looking for his first feature win ever in the Sportsman division. Former 4-cylinder champ will start out front. Then it's Scott Baker, the 222, on the outside. Corey Ensign goes next, 25. Brian Tomey, 26. former Outlaw and Sportsman champion Tom Thomas goes next in the 82, and he's flanked by Josh Fry, who we just spoke to, the 44. Another former champion, Kevin Ford, of the 4. The all-time race winner with 115 wins, we decided, or be going for 115 tonight.
Going for 115.
115.
You keep giving him more wins than he already has,
I'm
man.
excited.
He doesn't need any more.
Tim DeVos going for 115 tonight in the 12 car. You'll see him starting on the outside of row number 4. In the 9th row, and I should say starting 9th to the 5th row, it's Ryan Holtzlander chasing the championship, and the rookie Nathan McNabb in the 47 will go 10th.
Then it'll be Joe Jones back in the number 8 car, starting 11th to his outside. Braden Cook, he's not driving the Braden Cook car that we saw last night that got caved in the front. He's actually taking over Grandpa Mo Davis's number 38 car, the old school red Thunderbird on that outside. You'll see him tonight in that machine. Don McNabb, father of Nathan McNabb, starting 13th in the 47 car. Jackson Walker starting 14th in the 20. Steve Barnard back in the 98 car, hoping to have a little bit more of a favorable result here tonight. And right now, guys, like we've mentioned, the points championship race, not as tight as it was in the Sportsman's heading into tonight. Nate Dreyer, the qualifying session, like Ryan just said, kind of hurt him here. What is the story going into this one?
That's right. It was 50 points the gap between Josh and Ryan heading into the night, up to 64 now. So kind of similar to what I said in the limited late model championship. It's going to have to take a little bit of chaos and maybe a bit of a separator between the two main parties to create a real battle next week. Again, same sort of story with a double points race, double length race tonight, along with on championship night next Saturday. But as Josh was saying to me too, as the cars fire behind me and get ready to roll, we've had chaos so far, so we might get just that.
Well, interestingly enough, we talked about this. Scott Thomas was up here last night calling the race along with myself, and he made the comment that in the history of Berlin, when he's seen these two-day events like this, these back-to-back, the first one's quiet, and the second one is usually the exact opposite. So far, he's right.
I mean, especially with the fact that being a hockey fan, you play game Friday night, Saturday night, one's chaos, one's all fights, and the other one's just a nice, clean hockey.
I think that's just sports in general, right?
Yeah.
You do a two-day event, they're never the same.
And that's why I think this one's going to be just so interesting, because that Sportsman race last night, I mean, we had the one big wreck, but outside of that, it was a pretty calm race, and we're going to have a really good, interesting front row here with Corey Holtzlander and Scott Baker. Those guys can be pretty dicey, and then you're going to have the hard charge from the back. Ryan Holtzlander trying to stay in that championship race is going to be a man on a mission. Tim DeVos, the fastest car, the only guy to go under 19 seconds in qualifying, back-to-back fast qualifier awards for the all-time winningest driver here. He's going to charge. It doesn't matter where he is in the points or whether or not he starts in the field. He's going to be going hard all night long in that 12 car. So, yeah, this race has all the makings of what is going to be for us, maybe fun, for the drivers, maybe not so much.
Yeah, getting some extra warm-up heat laps. We definitely saw that was an issue with the limited late model cars. Now, one thing to keep in mind, these cars are on totally different tires, totally different setup on the cars, and these cars by their nature are already a little bit looser and freer than the cars we just saw. So what that means with that combination platter of all of that, I don't know. We will find out. And again, the weather has changed. It has basically cleared out now. The cloud deck, all of a sudden, with the last 10 minutes, has opened up. The bright sunshine is going to hit the racetrack. That's going to change it as well, and then it's going to go away again. So a lot of variables here in this 40-lapper.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty dicey race because, these guys, there was some sunshine during practice for the Sportsmen. Now it's going to be all cloud cover, and you can't even say the sun has really affected the racetrack because it's just been too cold for that. And we had a little bit of rain come through the area today. Didn't do enough to wash off any of the rubber from last night. So you're looking at a greasy track, you're looking at a slick track, and I'm going to be interested.
And cold
to see how
temps on a track with a lot of rubber on it.
Yeah.
All right, Baker Pace Truck leads him around. 40 laps for this one as well. Long way for the Sportsman with the competition yellow in between it. 20 for 20 green flag laps up until the final 5.
And Fry typically has been good in these long races, the extended features for the Sportsmen's. Last night, he's having a good run as well. So if he can find a way to just, I think, hit the right marks, get on that outside line, we'll see if this, because the Sportsmen's are one of the cars here that can make moves to the outside. We'll see on these first couple of laps with Baker on the outside and then Tommy behind him. Tommy not the biggest fan of being on the high line, but we'll see if any of these guys can make that outside line work.
And let's talk about real quick, Tyler, who hasn't won this division. They're running out of time this year. Corey Holtzlander has not won. Tom Thomas has not won. Nathan McNabb has not won, right? All these guys want a shot at it, and some of these guys are probably getting lands, and Corey Ensing wants to win. Scott Baker would like to go back to victory lane. And then you got the points battles, and Tim DeVos is just trying to mow everybody down and keep padding his monster record of 115 if he wins tonight. Get ready to go green for 40 with a break in between. Underway at Berlin.
early start for Scott Baker, and Corey Holtzlander on the inside line slows up a little bit. Brian Tomey trying to make that high side work with Fry right behind him. Tim DeVos as well. He wouldn't mind trying to just follow the 44 around to the front of the pack. It'll be Scott Baker, just like last night, leading lap number 1.
Yeah, Scott Baker led early on and faded in the second half of the race. Missing a couple cars. Brian Tillman not part of this one. Braden Cook's car wiped out, so Cook's in a different car, so we are missing a couple cars after the carnage of last night. So a couple less cars to contend with. Scott Baker looks good. If Tomey gets down there and in front, he's going to be tough to pass in the 26. Tomey's Mr. Smooth on the inside. Going to be real tough to get past him. Battle for third. Tim DeVos, who absolutely was on a rail yesterday, looks like he picked up right where he left off and refueled the locomotive, because he is coming in the 12 car looking for win 115 tonight.
He just shot right by Josh Fry, and I don't think Josh Fry put up much of a fight. He said, I could try to battle with this guy, maybe get dicey, but at this point of the race, or at this point of the season, with the night that it is, and having just experienced the chaos that was the limited late models, he decides to back off. That's probably a smart move. The 98, I believe, is, Steve Barnard being black flagged, and he almost gets the leaders again.
He's super slow, too far off the pace to be safely out there.
And that's what happened last night. That's what cost Tillema and Braden Cook their seasons, at least for those cars.
Not up to speed enough, so that he's going to pull it in. 35 to go. There's your front three. And Scott Baker, Brian Tomey, and they better learn how to block in a hurry if they're going to keep DeVos back there in the 12. They do for now. Maybe they can't talk to each other, but if they want any hope to have anything, and DeVos is just going to mow him down here.
Holy cow.
DeVos on the outside. Makes contact with Scott Baker. Boom, and DeVos pancakes the wall. Oh my goodness. Wow, DeVos, he is going to be a very unhappy customer with that after contact with Scott Baker.
Yeah, he just shot around that outside line. Talk about making it work. He made it stick, and then Baker came up. And once again, folks, these guys don't have spotters.
DeVos is not a quick moving guy, and I don't mean that as an insult, but to have him jump out of the car. You see DeVos right up to the wall after contact with Scott Baker. Safety crew is there.
You see DeVos quickly hop out of his car, helmet's off. Looking out there on the track to see who was it. I think he knows.
Well, I don't think he needs to look at who it was. He was right there. Boy, DeVos, who was just, I mean, unquestionably, his car was
fast.
Fast is an understatement. It was a monster yesterday and today. He's still got a bit of a smile on his face. DeVos has been one of the, like I said, if we had a equivalent to Dale Earnhardt out here, it is Tim DeVos. There it is.
Oh, yeah, he's looking right at Scott Baker. He's just walking right across the track. Yep. All he can do is laugh. He just walked. Yeah, I'm Tim DeVos. I'm just going to walk across the track.
Well, DeVos probably won't let us talk to him, but he's declined his interviews the last couple of years, which we
for wins. I don't know if he wants to
respect or not, but yeah, you don't need to interview him after that. We saw what happened, and then his arms thrown up in the air after contact with Scott Baker.
And yeah, he's not a happy camper for sure. And
yep, the hands pretty much say it all.
I'm about to say I'm not the best lip reader, but I'm sure there's some words, and they're not words of kindness to one Scott Baker.
There he is. One of the toughest customers probably in the history of Berlin Raceway. 114 wins. It will not be 115 tonight for the veteran DeVos. Let's watch this one more time.
Yeah, Baker
they just
got pinched.
Went up the hill. And at that point, DeVos is, no control.
Yeah, right into the concrete walls on the outside there.
Oh, he pancaked it pretty good. DeVos is really good. I mean, if DeVos can't save it, nobody can. And tough break for the tough customer of Tim DeVos on the hook. Oh yeah, their whole right side pancaked on the number 12.
Yeah, he didn't run the limited late model race tonight because it didn't seem like he wanted to get it going, and now he's got to worry about getting that car up. And that's it. I mean, granted, DeVos isn't in the points, so whether or not he doesn't have to run next week, but Not sure how much work there is. You see the right side just kind of flaring up like that.
Well, look at the yellow paint. That tells a story too. The wall's yellow there, and he just took a bunch of it off. Well, we'll put up the text line while we got a break in the action. 616-816-7816. And I think, at least right now, Scott Baker's getting the consultation. We'll see where race officials decide to put that. Got Bob watching from Coventry, Rhode Island. That's where he is, 30 miles from Seekonk Speedway in Massachusetts.
Yep.
Thanks for checking in. Couple more messages. Got Ted from Coulter, Pennsylvania, checking in. Hello from Green Valley, Arizona, rooting on Dylan Stovall as they do every week. And the 24 car, as we see DeVos's car one more time. That's about as quick as I've seen him get out.
That's why I was like, that's a man that's unhappy.
Yep.
But
good luck from Blake Rowe tonight from Nani and Poppy watching from Tennessee. Thank you for checking in. And we got John Boucher watching from Clarksville, Indiana tonight as well. Thanks for all of the messages. And Scott Baker goes pit side.
And yeah, Nate Dreyer, you just kind of saw what happened. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we missed it there on the camera. Tim DeVos came out to Baker's car and proceeded to punch the rear quarter panel of Scott Baker's car. A very unhappy customer yelled at him through the passenger window and then punched the right rear quarter panel hard. If we can kind of pan over, you can see the damage.
Yeah.
That the
we got the replay right here.
DeVos.
We got the
yes,
replay right here.
Yeah, get a look at it. If there's some hand wavering. Yeah.
Oh.
He right hooked us. Tim DeVos just right hooked a car.
Wow. And there he is. DeVos unhappy, and understandably so.
And I think I just saw Tim DeVos walking back over to Baker's pit, maybe?
No. White flag from Tony Postma. Still got the hands up. Still talking about it. And
yeah,
Shako's
it ain't done yet, guys.
Yeah, you see DeVos leaning in there. DeVos kind of explaining his line, I guess. Green split screen.
They're still talking about it. As we get this one back under green, safety crew is going to come down here and make sure everybody's okay. And they get this. Here's Billy Shako. We're back under green.
So meanwhile,
back under green. It's going to be Josh Fry up on the outside, and Brian Tomey now inherits the front row as they're talking about it. Corey Holtzlander looks like he settles back to third, and now Tom Thomas up to fourth in the 82.
Quickly, guys, while they're battling, I will say I did hear in that discussion Scott Baker was apologizing or attempting to Tim DeVos, saying, "I didn't mean to do it, Tim."
Well, that's good to hear, obviously. And
a lot of frustrations tonight. Well, we called it, right? Yesterday was quiet. Today was anything but. Speaking of not quiet, Josh Fry is about to grab the lead, or at least attempt to grab the lead on the outside. We haven't seen this all year. He makes it work. Josh Fry to the front. Brian Tomey gets loose. These cars continue to dance around. So Fry to the lead. And believe it or not, we're only at lap number 8, if you can believe that.
And now the important thing is for Fry is to kind of keep it going this entire time, because we still have a caution with the fact that that incident with DeVos and Baker happened on lap 6. We're looking at about, if I can quick do my math here, 14 laps to go if we stay green. Granted, at this point, you can't really assume that we're going to stay green just because of how the racing has been tonight.
You can assume nothing.
You can assume, but you know what happens when
you can assume if you Josh Fry, he's a happy camper. Tomey second. Tom Thomas still looking for his first feature win of the season. Had a really good car yesterday until getting caught up in an early race incident yesterday. Made repairs to the 82. And Tom's car has been pretty good on the longer runs, and Kevin Ford's hovering back there now in the 4th position.
Kevin Ford's been solid this year. He's got a few wins. In fact, he has 3 wins so far this year. The track champion from a couple of years ago in this very series.
So Tomey not going away though on the 26, trying to get past on the inside. Josh Fry, the 44 car, did make the pass on the outside.
See a good battle between the brothers developing a little bit behind these guys. The Holtzlanders, Corey and Ryan.
Cars get loose up there again. Tomey looks to the inside of Josh Fry. Tomey's awfully smooth in the 26. Arguably one of the smoothest race cars ever in the history of Sportsman here.
The blueberry paint job, I like to say.
Tom Thomas lurking in the red and white car in third. Oh, Tomey looks to the inside again. He's going to get position on Fry, who sort of slams the door, kind of, sort of. He left him room, but not a lot of extra.
Yeah, Tommy ran really hard into that corner. You can tell he went up higher than he usually does, and now he does have that room on the inside, but if he knows he pushes too hard.
Oh, Tom Thomas almost hits the shorts in the old-style Camaro. Look at the old-style Camaro front end on Tom Thomas's car. Tommy down to the inside of Fry. Gets a run down there. Can he make it stick? And I think if he does make it stick, he's probably going to haul Thomas with him.
Fry's keeping it close, though, right? Door to door. Fry gets a good run coming out of the corner.
Close. Tom Thomas and now, and Tommy gets close to Fry, and now John, and I should say, Kevin Ford is also squished in there in the other white car.
Very close battle right now. Fry now finally is able to clear back ahead of Tommy, and he's running hard up on that second line. It's been working for him, but Tommy is right there, and Tom Thomas is almost like trying to give Tommy a push, saying, come on, buddy.
Yeah, come on,
I'm
get
right
through there.
You.
Oh, and now Kevin Ford to the inside of Tom Thomas, maybe right behind.
Tomy's right there, door to door. He's getting a good run, but Fry's just better coming out of the corners, and that's what's really helping him tonight, coming out of 2 and 4, which for other drivers tonight has been a dicey kind of run coming out of that high side, but right now it's been working for the 44 in black and green.
Yeah, Fry's been making the top groove work, and only a couple cars we've seen be able to stick it out there yesterday, but beyond that, the second groover at Berlin oddly has not really come in much this year, mainly because of the hot, sticky conditions, but tonight is not that. It's everything but that.
Now Ford looks to the high side on Tom Thomas, and while these four were all battling, who is caught up? Ryan Holtzlander. He knows that he has to somehow get around these guys to keep it close. Tommy looking to the inside. I'm sure Ryan's like, come on, Brian, get around him. Give me some points here. Tommy gets loose. Fry still holds on to the lead. We'll have 20 laps to go next time by. A few laps to go before the competition caution.
Boy, all these cars you see in this shot, they're excellent, excellent sportsman race car drivers. All of them. Highly accomplished. All of them.
Tommy gets down in there, gets 2 tires below that yellow line. They're side by side. Can Tommy finally get the lead on Josh Fry?
Oh, Tom Thomas gets loose in the 82. He twitches a little bit. That's going to allow Kevin Ford to kind of grab up the spot in the 4 car. Way down to the inside.
But Tommy to the lead.
Tommy to the lead. Back to the lead, I should say. Kevin Ford now is in 3rd. Now Tom Thomas battles back again on the inside, and Josh Fry slams the door in 2nd.
About 5 laps away from a proposed competition caution. Ryan Holtzlander now sees the black and green just in front of him. He knows if he can get around Tom Thomas, or if Tom Thomas can get behind Josh Fry as the 44 gets loose coming out of turn number 4. That'll help out Ryan Holtzlander, but Fry saves it, holds on to 2nd. He's got Ford and Thomas and Holtzlander knocking on the back door, putting all sorts of pressure right now on the points lead.
Tom Thomas looks to the inside. The car twitches again. We've seen the 82 car twitch. Meanwhile, Ford goes to the outside, maybe making the pass from the Josh Fry groove out there. He made it work before. And Ryan Holtzlander lurks behind him in the 2 car, the gold and black 2 car. 2nd in points as Jackson Walker goes off the pace right in front of him. He is out of the way, no issue there.
Tom Thomas trying to respond on the inside. Ford goes way up the track. Fry stays way low below that yellow line, almost clipping that wall on the inside of turn number 4. About 2 laps away from that competition caution. So if you think things are tight now, just wait until we have to try it all again with just a few laps to go. Kevin Ford decides to dive down deep under Josh Fry. They get close. Ooh. Fry gives him room, but Fry holds on to 2nd right now.
Kevin Ford gets loose in the 4 car. Maybe Tom Thomas thinks about going upstairs. The reason why this matters is because we have a competition yellow, but whoever finishes 2nd gets a front row starting spot potentially, and that's going to matter a ton on the restart. Josh Fry has managed to keep it out there for the moment.
Tomy's kind of run away. He's about 1.2 seconds. Fry gets really loose coming out of turn number 4. He sits in 2nd, and if we stay this way, I believe that's where he'll start when the competition caution falls in just a moment.
Yep. Oh, Joe, he's going to try it, though. Can Kevin Ford get in front of Josh Fry here before he hits the stripe? It's going to be tough. I don't think it's, oh, no, there's the yellow. Couldn't do it, got close. 14 laps to go.
Matt, are you having fun?
Boy, the first 2 races have not disappointed, and we got a big 150 lapper to go yet.
$12,000.
And yeah. All right, we've got a quick break in the action. Let's go down to Rick one more time. Rick, well, this race has been wild. The fans, they got to be having fun here tonight, although looks like somebody might be a little sleepy.
It sounds like you guys are having fun. I'm having fun as well with my friend Kaylee, and the whole family has come down. Kaylee, you said you and your family have been coming here since you were kids to Berlin. Where are you guys from?
So I'm from Marne, and my husband is from Coopersville, and we have both been coming here separately. We didn't know we were both coming here since we were about 10 years old.
10 years old. That's unbelievable. So not only is it a good experience for you, but the family as well, and it looks like the kids are going to be coming here for another 20, 30 years also.
Absolutely. And I also brought my friend from the other side of the state. She's from Montrose.
Montrose, fantastic. So
All the way here.
So it's your friend's first time at Berlin as well?
It's first or second, yeah. Yeah, we brought her a couple times, so.
Awesome. So it's certainly the party's not going to end, and it looks like we're going to go racing soon. Have a great time.
Yes, we love it here. It's so much fun for us and for our kids and the whole family. It's a great time.
Have a great time. Guys, back out to you.
All right, having a great time down there with the big ones and the little ones. All right, Brian Tomey has been awfully smooth. He got passed around Josh Fry. He will take the inside. That'll put Fry up to the outside. Kevin Ford on the inside of row 2 and the 4. Tom Thomas, Ryan Holtzlander, Corey Insing, Corey Holtzlander, Nathan McNabb, Joe Jones, Donnie McNabb, and Braden Cook.
There's only 11 cars left, but I tell you what, who knows who's going to end up on top. Great start for Brian Tomey. Clean start, says Tony Postma. Fry settles into second, but now Kevin Ford's got his nose in there. That might not be the story for long. Ford moves up into second place.
Yep, Kevin Ford is finally going to get around. Well, I say that, almost around the 44 car. Now Ryan Holtzlander shoves down to the inside of Tom Thomas.
Ooh, he kind of pushes him a little bit.
Little close racing action there.
But Ryan has to do that. You're battling for a championship. You kind of have to do what it takes to move on ahead. So now, Holtzlander 4, Fry 3, the battle for the championship. Just over one race left in the season for both of these guys. Fry now has the 2 in his rear view mirror while Tomey and Ford battle for the lead.
Kevin Ford's car looked like it really been coming on there the second half, and maybe he was just having a hard time getting past everybody. Oh, Kevin Ford slides it way down the inside. You see it twitch, make a shot at Tomey. Both of these guys, former Sportsman champions and friends as well. Not that that matters on the racetrack as much.
Everyone's always friends until they start battling for the lead.
You get them behind the wheel, everything's different, right? Kevin Ford looks awfully good, Tyler, and I think he's going to be able to make it stick down there, and he is. And I think if Kevin Ford can keep it down there, Tomey's car is notoriously not the best on the outside, and I think it's going to be tough for Tomey to hang on here for another 10 up there. We'll see.
I was about to say it's one of those things where Tomey kind of surrenders the spot and tries to cross him up and go on the inside, but
not giving up yet.
Got the nose ahead, but yeah, Tomey's getting these good runs on the quote-unquote straightaways here at Berlin. There's not really straightaways.
Kevin gets a little bit loose, has to get on the brakes a little bit to keep him from going up and hitting Tomey's side door. That'll keep him side by side, but again, it's going to be tough, I think.
Tomey gets loose right there, coming out of turn number 1 into turn 2, Matt, and that'll be enough for Kevin. Well, I say that, but once again, Tomey gets a good run.
Yeah.
They can't do this for 10 laps, right?
Well, maybe, maybe not. Oh, Kevin Ford gets loose again. Every time he does that,
it seems like he hits a hole or something.
Well, he's hanging on to a loose race car is what he's doing. There he gets a pretty good run on Tomey. That's probably what he needed right there to clear the spot.
Well, it's not totally clear. And there's Tomey going hard into the corner. He knows he has to if he wants to stay side by side, but that time looks like Kevin Ford will finally be able to. Well, okay, maybe not. I don't know. Tomey keeps getting these good runs on the front and back stretch that every time it looks like Ford's going to clear that nose of his, Tomey just finally gets a good run.
There, he finally did it. It took him a good 5 laps of hard racing, at lap 33.
So now the question is, will there be any response? Tomey was able to bounce back after Fry initially took the lead. Because if Tomey can get back on that inside, that'll be important if he can find a way to try to get that win. I mean, Tomey might not be in the championship race, but he does have 5 wins this season.
Oh, sure.
That's more than Fry has.
Yeah, has had a solid season, no question. And Kevin Ford has had some real good runs this year as well.
But the only issue is, and if you ask Brian Tomey, he'll even tell you himself, he's had rough qualifying sessions. That's why he's not trying to battle for another championship.
Battle for third is on right behind this. Tom Thomas, as I mentioned, Thomas's car seems to be better on the long runs. Let's watch the third place battle right behind us as Tom Thomas is working on Josh Fry.
Or Fry's working on Tom Thomas. He's trying to get ahead.
No, Fry was in front. So Thomas is shoving the inside, and I think he might be able to get past Josh here. And that means, Tyler, if this happens, that's going to put the 2 championship cars right next to each other one more time.
He's looking down in there. Oh, geez, Thomas had to jump out of the way of that turn 4 wall. They get very close coming into turn number 1.
Thomas down to the inside. Maybe Ryan Holtzlander thinking about going past. giving hand signals how far the distance is. 3 to go for Kevin Ford. Battle continues for third.
Whoa, look at Ryan Holtzlander slide that thing out of turn 4.
Look at everybody slide that thing out of turn 4. Thomas slid a little bit. Josh Fry a little bit, did 44. I think Josh might, I don't know, you got to be careful here racing for a championship. Maybe you just let Tom go, who's not racing heavy for points anyway.
White flag in the air though for Kevin Ford. He's looking for win number 4 on the season. Wasn't easy, but he's got the fast car tonight, Matt.
Yeah, and if this stays, points championship is not going to change much again, which means it's all going to come down to next week.
That's probably good for Ryan Holtzlander, who started so far back, but it'll be Kevin Ford crossing the start-finish line first, taking the checkered flag for the 4th time this season.
Tomey second, Tom Thomas third, Josh Fry fourth, Ryan Holtzlander, Corey Ensing, Corey Holtzlander, Joe Jones, Nathan McNabb, Donnie McNabb, and Braden Cook. And the classic T-Bird wraps up the final finishing position. Nice run for Kevin Ford. His car looked good, especially the second half of that race tire. It looks like his car was just kind of waiting to break through. Exactly what happened.
Yeah, he just kind of got himself in the right spot and hit his mark, especially going through a tough field. So good run for Kevin Ford. Big win for him. Good run for Brian Tomey. I know second place finish isn't exactly what he wanted, given how many laps he led. But great win for Kevin. Good run for Tom Thomas to get back into third, get a podium finish. And Ryan Holtzlander, despite that bad qualifying session, only will finish 1 spot back of Josh Fry.
So we'll do the math here in a minute, unofficial math, of course, and then this will set up a championship battle for both cars at Berlin Raceway next weekend.
With that, Holtzlander is now 60 points back, so he loses some ground, but Josh Fry knows that it don't matter.
A DNF could be your championship.
A DNF, a bad qualifying session next week, everything will be on the line for them. And I mean, you couldn't ask for it. We had a great 4-cylinder championship battle last year for a 3-way dance for that. And given the fact that there's one guy going for 2 championships and it's not over, I mean, Matt, we've talked about this before. There's some years we go on a championship night saying, well, this is all just pageantry. There's nothing to count for.
Yep.
But here we are looking at another last day final battle for a championship. I love it.
We'll get Kevin Ford over the scales real quick. We'll get a quick word with him, and then after that we'll go down to Rick for the final time. Then he'll join us up here in the booth momentarily. There's Don DeWitt, our track owner, with the trophy. Looks like he's got help. That guy sitting in the golf cart, he is in our Hall of Fame. That's Don DeWitt and his wife Minnie. Run this beautiful racetrack and take care of all of us, so thank you, Don. $150 lapper coming up immediately following this one. Yep, Kevin Ford passes the Room of Doom.
The Room of Doom.
There's Diana Holtzlander standing there, our NASCAR ambassador.
But good win there for Kevin Ford. You know he's going to be happy and relieved. Big win for Kevin Ford.
Let's up and on the car. Let's go down to victory lane with Kevin Ford.
Kevin Ford gets his 4th of the season here at Berlin Raceway. Kevin, we had a great limited late model race, and now the Sportsman just put on another show for us. You were in the thick of it. You started 7th, had to work your way all the way back up. How'd you get it done?
A lot of breaks went our way. I think everybody knew we weren't beating that 12 car, and he had some unfortunate issue on the front stretch where he caught the wall, it looked like. So as soon as that happened, it pops in your head that you might have a shot, but we were still back in, I don't know, 5th or 6th or so at that point. So a lot of fast cars to pass. Ryan was up there, Josh was up there, and Tomey was up there, and that was one of the best, most fun races I've been in. I hope it was fun to watch. It was really fun to drive in. I lost most of my power steering about halfway through that race, so I was underneath that 26 car, and I couldn't hardly move the steering wheel. It was like the worst time for it to happen because I was having to drive the crap out of it to try to get around him, and it was nice to get in front of him and be able to run a smooth line and not have to steer so much. But yeah, what a great race.
Well, the season's coming to an end, and you've raced so much this year. I'm sure that this is probably a pretty good send-off going in that final race.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I mean, a few weeks ago, I just wanted 1 or 2 more wins by the end of the year. We wrecked this car so bad a couple of times this year that the fact that it has any speed at all is amazing. I got to thank all the sponsors for that, because if they didn't come on board throughout the years, we wouldn't have the money to do this and keep fixing it when I managed to hit stuff. So we got Computer Rescue 911 on the hood. Image Builders, Ron Ford, my dad, up on the corridor with Williams Distributing, which is Bob up there. Automotive Equipment Services, Global Tech, Uncle Bernie, 2 Men in a Truck, CMTS, Henneveld Industrial Group, Nordyke Business Equipment, Van Kempen Electric, Remax Lakeshore Group, but Mike Bursley's on the car in spirit at least. Hasn't got a sticker for us, but and then HD5, they're the ones that wrap it, make it so great. RevTech does our motors, and we've had just such good power this year to be able to hook up the drive off we have, so I love it. And everybody that helps. My kids are here for the first time ever down in the pits. They've never came down. My son had his first ever tackle football game this morning, and then he's here down in the pits, and we're winning races.
Well, after a long, chaotic race, Kevin Ford gets it done once again here at Berlin Raceway.
All right, congratulations, Kevin Ford. Nice run. Don DeWitt gives him the trophy, and well-deserved. Well, Rick, before we let you come upstairs and join us, you're down there. You're wearing the Berlin hoodie, and you look like you're standing where you can buy 100 more of those things. We have a really cool souvenir shop as well. Take us there real quick and grab me some on your way up.
Matt, why would you come to the greatest racetrack in the country and not buy yourself some awesome Berlin merch? Yes, this hoodie, which is now sold out, by the way, that's how cool it is available for, well, when we have it, it is available for sale. But what fans need to do is they need to come on, get some of their Berlin merch. Amazing, and it is a really comfortable hoodie. I'm not just saying that, it's fantastic. And then check out the rest of the amazing concourse. You mentioned the lights earlier where Project 90 is setting up, and this facility, I cannot sing its praises enough. We've been doing this week after week all summer long, and it's what more can you say, Matt and Tyler? Get yourself a hoodie or a shirt, come on down and check out the band and get some of this Berlin action.
All right, thank you so much, Rick. Appreciate it. Fun to give you a little preview. We come to the back side of the racetrack here. We didn't have an opportunity to do that much all season, so let's come on and give a little fun of some of the backside stuff, fun stuff we have here to offer you at Berlin Raceway. All right, we'll come back. We'll take a very short break, and then we'll set this one up. 150 laps in the main event for the Battle of the Pros. We'll cover it all for you next. You're watching Berlin Raceway on Flow. And you're back at Berlin Raceway for the Battle of the Pros 150 starting lineup coming your way momentarily. Let's go to the guy on the front row, qualified 8th, front row starting position. A lot of experience here. Let's go to Scott Thomas, who's going to start on the pole position with Nate.
That's right, the Berlin veteran. Perfect starting position for Scott Thomas. What are the keys to try to keep this race car right where it starts?
Well, it's going to take a good car, and we're going to need to get some heat in the tires. Without a doubt, today's the coldest race day we've had in a long, long time. I'm sure you saw it with qualifying that a lot of guys had hard time getting heat in them even to qualify, and we can't have enough warm-up laps here to make sure that we got good grip on the start.
All right, no one's got a better view tonight than Scott Thomas. Here's Ryan Pilana, a couple of rows back with Tyler Reisinga.
Yep, Tyler Reisinga starting in the 6th position, not too far out from the front. What's the plan to get it to the front? And I mean, we've seen so far tonight how weird these races can be. How comfortable are you here with this car?
Yeah, we had a pretty decent qualifying effort, so I'm pretty happy with the car, all in all. We struggled a little bit today in practice, but I feel like from what I had in qualifying, I feel like it was a good balance. At this point, I think it's just figure out what this first 100 laps is going to do, and if we can pick them off, do it one at a time, and just be patient. I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, it looks like Tyler Reisinga has got a plan. We'll send it over to Nate.
That's right. It's been a wild couple of days for Trayton Lapsevich, making the trip in from Canada. Ran yesterday, get to start in the 7th spot today. What were you able to learn in yesterday's 75 laps that you can try to take to get a couple of rows forward and go to victory lane?
Yeah, definitely learned a lot yesterday in the race. I'm happy that we made it here to get some laps in there. Just car didn't fare too well in the long run, so made a lot of adjustments last night, and then we were able to tune on them during practice today. So big thanks to the whole crew. Happy to be here at Berlin Raceway, and excited for 150 laps tonight.
All right, he won the ARCA race back in June. He's always fast in a pro late, just like this one. Trayton Lapsevich rolls off 7th. We'll send it back up to you guys, and let's get this thing rolling.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, guys. Nice coverage down there. Well, the starting lineup, the plan is going to be 150 laps, guys. Competition yellow at 50 and 100 with an extended pit stop at 100. We'll talk about that in a minute. In the meantime, let's get your starting lineup. Starting out front, just heard an interview with the all-time, long-time racers here at Berlin Raceway, former Sportsman champ from the front row. It's going to be Scott Thomas in the 28. He's flanked on the outside with 1 win on the season so far. Looking to make it another one. Dylan Stovall will start next in the 24. Your points leader and potential points champion, if he probably just starts next week for his first championship with the super late models, it's Austin Hull in the 20, flanked on the outside with a TK Racing 71. Blake Rowe, former multi-time winner here in both modifieds and super late models, will start next in the 4th position. Then it's Andrew Scheid. He will start 5th in the 88, flanked on the outside by the 4 car of Tyler Reisinga. Then it's Trayton Lapsevich, who you just heard from, making the drive from Grimsby, Ontario, Canada. Good long 6-7 hour drive, makes the call over here. And then it's Evan Shako in the 88 car. He was your fast qualifier tonight in the number 22.
Ken Wama rolling off the line in 9th. The young man, Tyler Lupton, rounding out the top 10. Nick Neary, Sam Johnson, 11th and 12th, followed by Trevor McCoy in the 88T and Mr. Joe Bush in the 101. Brian Bergaker rolls off the line 15th, followed by Max Steinhorst and Justin Thomas.
17 cars battling it out for $12,000. Let's take things back down to the pits. Nate Dreyer and Ryan Pilon, what are you watching for this 150-lap Battle of the Pros?
We are watching first off for a very challenging race, and a couple of guys starting up front that certainly are worth keeping your eye on, including Ryan, the guy that was fast qualifier.
Yep, Evan Shako is going to be my pick here for tonight. He's on my side of pit road, but he's just been, he didn't seem like too confident before when I was talking before the interview, but after what they said, he seemed like he's pretty confident, and it showed up there on the board with the fast qualifier. He's got his new car. It seems like he's pretty comfortable in it, so I think he'll be good tonight.
The opposite can be said in terms of confidence for Andrew Scheid. I talked to him throughout the day. They had tested the other day. Andrew was very confident. 4th fastest in qualifying, inverts back just 1 spot. But in particular, watch for that 88 car on the long run. They're on a little bit of an island. They've done some different things setup-wise that they think they're starting to find where they want things to be. I think Andrew Scheid is very confident in his car, especially over the long run. So if we get things drawn out, that 88 car is going to be very, very difficult to beat tonight.
And with that, the engines fire. Thank you, guys. As the sun begins to set, there you see 150 laps is the distance, and you see the top 10 starters on top of the Berlin scoreboard. Glad to have you along here at Berlin Raceway. We'll put up the text line. Let us know where you're watching from tonight. As we get a couple breaks in the action, we'll say hi to you. 616-816-7816. So especially if you're a pro late model fan, outlaw late model fan, super late model fan, or just the fun of short track racing.
Do you like four wheels going fast around a circle?
Pretty much.
You're here.
You're in the right place at Berlin Raceway, celebrating its 75th year. Glad to have you along. Well, we talked a little bit about it. We'll mention it one more time. $12,000 to win this race. 150 laps is the distance. We will have a competition yell at 50.
Well, 50 green flag laps.
Yep. And then another 50 at lap 100. Correct?
Barring the fact that tonight, I don't suspect 50 green flag laps of any kind.
Scheduled. And there will be a controlled pit stop that's a certain amount of time. Everybody will have extra time, so you won't be rushing out 2, 3, 5 laps. There'll literally be a timer started, and they'll allow you to change 2 tires if you so desire for a 6-tire event.
Which kind of stinks, too, because we've seen in the past, especially with the Money in the Bank, guys try to maybe jump a little early. Blake Rowe's done it before, where he's pitted at lap 50 and tried to run the last 100 laps on let's say a half fresh set of tires. It's kind of hard to do that when it's a little bit hot, but now with the 100 laps, you can't really stay out and get the advantage. You come down pit road, you shut your car off just like everyone else. And like I said, Rick, when you shut these tires off, you shut the cars off with 50 laps to go, when it's 40 degrees outside, when people are thinking about Christmas. I mean, unless they're going to do more warm-up laps when they fire up the cars again, those last 50 laps are going to be dicey as all get out.
Tyler, we were talking to Billy Epping earlier in the day, and he asked the question that we asked at the top of the show: how are they going to make the tires work? My question is, like you say, with that fluctuation of temperature, is it going to be the long-run car, or is it going to be who adapts best to the ever-changing grip?
Scott Thomas mentioned he hasn't had a race this cold. I think the last time we had this race this cold, you probably remember this, was opening day a year ago.
Yes.
And the temperatures were about here, maybe even a little colder, but close to what we're going to see. And you see this, the clouds have cleared out. The sun is down, and there's going to be no insulation. It's going to get cold fast here at Berlin.
And the difference is that wasn't for $12,000.
No.
That was a normal 75 lapper, kind of like last night. These guys are battling for big bucks, so you're going to see guys push with 30 laps to go for better or for worse. And for all these guys at Berlin, including Austin Hall, this is not a points race for them. They're not really battling for position. They're battling for cash. So they'll be willing to go all out. And we talked with Carl Usher earlier in the year, Austin Hall's crew chief and spotter. He knows how important it is, and race car drivers are going to be race car drivers if they're close to the lead.
Boy, we've seen it so much in the other 2 races, guys, and this one especially. The cold tires are going to be a big issue on this one, especially on this start, but even later with the restarts. It's going to be a lot of tentative moments. You got a lot of smart race car drivers in here who probably can handle it well, but we've seen even the best not be able to handle it today. Baker Pace Truck pulls it in. The veteran Scott Thomas is going to lead him to green for 150 green flag laps. We're under green. Thomas gets a good jump on Stovall. We'll see how quickly they can wind up these tires and get the cold tires to stick at Berlin Raceway.
Side-by-side battle to begin this race with Dylan Stovall, Blake Rowe, 2 of the fastest guys on the track, 2 of the fastest cars in the field, running that high line. Austin Hall getting bunched up behind the veteran Scott Thomas. It'll be Dylan Stovall leading lap number 1, but he's got some hot and heavy drivers chasing him down.
Stovall does lead lap number 1. Scott Thomas second. Here comes Blake Rowe up on the outside in the red 71. Again, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 laps before these cars really get fully up to speed and wound in with the tires. Blake Rowe now solidly in a second. Scott Thomas fades back a little bit. Everybody kind of checks up.
Big backup there, Austin Hall in the 20. You saw that he was just getting held up a little bit by Scott Thomas. Matt McKenzie, you called it. The drivers need time to get up to 10.
Austin Hall now works up on the outside of the 20 car. Trying to get around Scott Thomas as well. And then we see Lapsevich in the 32 also trying to dice his way through. Got a long way to go in this one. Imagine we just want to settle in again with no major issues. So far, so good. Everybody now single file with the exception of Lapsevich and Scott Thomas.
Lapsevich getting a good run on Austin Hall. You see him right there. He has to let up, though. Doesn't want to make any contact with anybody. But now, as Ed said, Hall goes low. Lapsevich goes high. Oh, very close as Hall cuts his nose.
Wow, Hall gets close to Lapsevich. They don't make contact, but they keep it together. There's Andrew Scheid, Scott Thomas now. So Stovall, Rowe, Reisinger, Shako, Hall, Lapsevich, Thomas, Scheid, Lupton, and Ken Wabma, your top 10.
Lapsevich all over the back bumper of Austin Hall. I mean, I think some of these guys just want to kind of get into a rhythm and kind of get these first 50 laps, get the tires warmed up a little bit. Lapsevich is trying to make up ground here. Already in the top 6, looking to take a top 5 spot. He dives down to the inside of Austin Hall. Hall gives him plenty of room, and here comes the Canadian making his way by, the potential super late model champion.
So Lapsevich is going to be able to make the pass. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, Tyler, when we were talking about kind of the game plan. And one of the things we mentioned with Scott up here and others was some of the cars that are going to be there at the end are the ones that really just kind of run their own race early and throughout the night. And those cars will be much better shape later on. And so I think that might be some calculation, at least tonight. So even though a car might be 5th, 10th, or even farther back, don't count anybody out on this long race under cold temperatures.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if we get 50 green flag laps, these guys have 100 laps to go, and people like Joe Bush have shown you can go from the back to the front. Lapsevich had a really good start last night in the first 30 laps. You can make up a lot of ground in a short time on a good restart, especially at that point. The tires are going to probably be as hot as they're going to probably be in a race like this, how cool it is like this. So everyone's kind of just, like you said, running their own race right now, kind of getting a feel for things, single file just about all the way around the track.
You see Nick Neary here at Ken Wabma. That's Brian Bergaker in the 25 car today. Again, all these cars, I think, just kind of run your own race, get a good rhythm going, and to see what you got left at the end.
Those top two starting to pull away. Dylan Stovall in the 24, Blake Rowe in the 71, and then third place looks like it's up for debate between Tyler Reisinger and Evan Shako. Looking at Dylan Lupton now to the left-hand side of Scott Thomas.
Wow, look at Tyler Lupton. Dang near slapped the wall on the inside there. Scott Thomas's car looks like it doesn't like the inside so well. Lupton's car is literally the opposite, almost slapping the inside of the wall. Both grooves make it work. Was watching Thomas's car here, see if it's good on the outside. I think, Tyler, again, we saw this. Maybe the outside groove might come in here a little bit. It seems to be working for Thomas here. Lupton can't make the pass.
At least able to hold on for now. By the way, as we were talking, Evan Shako moved up into third. Reisinger kind of getting caught up on the backstretch. Trayton Lapsevich, here he comes out of Grimsby. Look at this guy go. He's up to fourth now.
Yeah, Lapsevich looks really good. Didn't really get to see what he could show us yesterday after getting here late, and really just trying to get the wheels under it. So Lapsevich looks awfully strong here today early on.
And remember, Nate talked to him earlier, talked about getting better at the long run speed. And that's kind of important, especially in these pro late models here at Berlin. You can be fast early on, but if you can be fast longer when the tires are warm, when the tires start to wear, that's important. Right now, Lapsevich is showing that. Given the fact that if we stay green, he's going to be in a good spot come that restart. Evan Shako also as well. Rowe and Stovall are just kind of pacing themselves around.
Yeah, imagine we're kind of more of a pace type setup here at the moment. Stovall's been out front most of this race. In fact, if Stovall's that led the whole thing actually from the outside of the front row.
Yeah, Thomas has slipped back to 8th, but he's still holding well against Tyler Lupton back there. Brian Bergaker trying to stay there near the top 10 conversation. Joe Bush and Nick Neary also in that little battle as well. You see Dylan Stovall, like we said, his first win this season in the Tecton Super Late Models, our weekly series at Berlin, back on June the 14th. And has had a couple of chances to win since then, but it's really been the story of Austin Hall catching him and knocking him down, which has kind of led to Austin Hall running away with the track championship.
Let's watch that 8th place battle between Scott Thomas and Tyler Lupton, guys. These guys have been side by side for the last 10 laps, and Lupton finally gets around. I was going to say they were side by side there forever. They finally get it resolved. Look at Scott Thomas looking 2 grooves higher, Lupton to the bottom. You wonder if the bottom's going to come in, and now after that pass, that's going to put everybody single file. Lupton, Scott Thomas, you see Bergaker, Joe Bush, Nick Neary, Ken Wabma, Sam Johnson, and Justin Thomas, the final 15 runners.
We're 30 laps from our first competition caution and possibly 2, and right now, I think some of the drivers are, all right, and now I know what kind of speed I can get on a restart, what kind of moves I can make on the track when you get into these 20 or 30 lap runs here. Maybe you start to see guys hold off a little bit. As I'm saying that, Trayton Lapsevich in the battle for 4th going into turn number 1. He's trying to keep things close now on Evan Shako.
Big battle in the back of the pack, guys. The bottom 4 guys nearly wadded it up the last lap. Maybe you can watch that for a minute. Right behind this battle we're watching, the 12th, Ken Wabma, Sam Johnson, and Nick Neary and Justin Thomas dang near all found each other. There they are. Those cars were side by side just a minute ago.
Neary loose out of that 4th corner. Thomas to the left-hand side. Neary looked a little bit upset just sliding out of the corner. This is what we can see with the track changing, and how your car is set up could evolve throughout the night.
Remember, this is a relatively new car for Justin Thomas. I believe just the 4th feature in that 57 car. It's a Van Dorn car. The car that he wadded up at the battle at Berlin, that was actually a Port City car. And he kind of got it, looked up to his buddy Austin Hall, said, can you give me a setup? They put it up with Austin Hall, called the basic setup, and ever since then, Thomas says, like, this is probably the best car I've ever had since joining the super late model division.
Yeah, a little bit off, not full of speed maybe as he had the last couple races with that car. Let's go back to the third place battle as Lapsevich is working on the 22 of Shako.
Coming out of turn number 4.
On the front stretch now. 22 Evan Shotko, 32 Trayton Lapsevich, the 2 black cars.
Good battle, you see him right there.
There they are, side by side. 2 black and white cars with inverted paint jobs. Lapsevich way down to the inside. Evan Shotko, your fast qualifier, 22, trying to block the spot. 24 laps to the competition yellow if we stay green.
Every time I say, oh, look, no one's pushing, everyone's kind of cruising, then Lapsevich is like, hold on a second here. I got stuck 6 hours at the border yesterday. I had to deal with U.S. Patrol.
That's enough to make me drive crazy.
I know.
Man, that would be enough to push me over the edge.
I'll say this for Evan Shotko, he's really making that higher line work. He made it work around Trayton Lapsevich, and look at him now in turn 3 and 4. He's a groove up.
Hey, speaking of grooves, let's go back to the battle. Scott Thomas, Joe Bush, Brian Bergaker. That's the 28, 25 in the 101 car.
Coming out of turn number 4 right now.
Yeah, they almost went 3 wide back there with all sorts of different grooves being selected. We'll catch those cars here in just a minute. They're just on the backstretch now. Joe Bush is now working on the inside of Scott Thomas. Joe Bush is one of those cars, the 101, that we see that takes a while to wind up. And so far, the wind-up toy is doing just that.
He's moved up to 9th, not too shabby. For at least he's going to get up to 9th if he can get around Scott Thomas officially here.
And he will right there. Bergaker's car, the 25, looks to be ill handling tonight too in the 25 after finishing second yesterday. The 25 looks like it might be a bit of a hang-on mode, at least at the moment. We're at lap 30 with 120 to go. Bergaker's the 25, that's the car we're talking about yesterday. That 25 car finished second yesterday. The 27 car of Wabma finished 6th yesterday, and the 28 car Scott Thomas did not race yesterday. And then we see Sam Johnson back there, who also had a good run in the black 25. Look at Bergaker's car dance around there again. The 25 car is twitchy. Scott Thomas way upper groove there. Look at that. Look at Scott fight the car up the top side of the racetrack.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit loose here. And let's actually come back to turn number 4. Evan Shako, he's trying to get rid of the battle for Trayton Lapsevich on the front stretch. He's trying to channel his way into second place. A little bit behind Dylan Stovall right here. You see Stovall, your leader. This battle's going on right behind him. You zoom out on the right side of your screen, entering. There's Blake Rowe hanging on. Shako's got his nose in there, guys, and
way
they are
down
very
to the
close.
inside. And Lapsevich has now come to join the party.
Shako looking to take away P2. Stovall just kind of off on his own little island, just trying to get around lap cars. Shako and Rowe side by side. The 71 sticking up top, but Shako's the man on a mission. 22 takes P2.
Or does he?
He does.
Okay, there he does. And now the question is, can Lapsevich take that spot away? By the way, first lap car coming up, Trevor McCoy's car will be the first one to lap down, so they will have to negotiate the 88 here in a minute.
Lapsevich trying to get around that 71, you guys. He's only got 13 more laps before that competition caution. Now he is going to work. Looks like you heard me.
Yeah, he is getting his nose out in there, and Rowe's giving him a lot of room. His spotters probably tell him, hey, that 32's there. He just lets him go by. He knows, obviously, too, guys. Like, and I know we're kind of saying not about tire saving. I think it's like, hey, no point of fighting your battles for one spot with 113 laps to go.
Definitely going to be a better position on the racetrack, though. That'll put him on the inside of the second row if he wants it. As you see McCoy in the 88 car, they're going to work around him.
These cars all battling out for $12,000. Is Lapsevich trying to get around Trevor McCoy. The lap car giving him plenty of room. We're going to be now 12 laps to go before our first competition caution. No one really trying to burn everything up quite yet. Everyone just kind of, like you said, Matt, they're running their own race. Rowe realizes I don't need to block these guys quite yet. Shako and Lapsevich saying, hey, let's get good track position as we have these restarts. When these tires cool down, they don't, I think if you're almost near the front, you don't feel the urge to have to throw the pedal down, Rick. If you don't feel like you have to come from the back of the pack, you're near the front, you can kind of ease into a restart a little bit more as you would be if you were 7th or 8th.
Well, and the car's going to change after this caution as well. I mean, Dylan Stovall's got a fantastic lead, but after this yellow comes out, it's not going to be the same track. The tire temperatures are going to change, so it's not going to be the same car. Think of this as the first act in tonight's show. Drivers are going to get a break, adapt, and then attack again with a different game plan.
Yeah, don't forget, too, we're going to have tire change, too, at lap 100 or somewhere around there. Right sides, you'd assume, would go on, and that's also going to change the dynamic. Anytime you change tires, any race car driver will tell you out here, the biggest breaker in between everything is the tires. The tires matter the most of everything.
Look at Austin Hall right on the side of your screen there. He got his nose right underneath Tyler Reisinga. He's trying to move him out of the way and move back up into 4th place as Austin Hall. Boy, very close there for a second. Reisinga gave him a little bit of room. And here comes Hall charging to the inside with 1:07 to go.
Boy, they're getting close. Hall, your points leader in the super late model of it. Look at how close they get to the inside wall and how they don't hit it. I don't know. Impressive.
You want to go down there and try it, Matt?
Nope. We're good.
You know, just hop back in your station wagon tonight and just drive behind a car at a safe distance.
Yeah, that station wagon only gets up to about 75, so it's not exactly racetrack material. 5 laps till we get the competition yellow. Hull was able to get around the 4 car. And Stovall continues to lead, by the way. 2nd place still Evan Shako. Lapsevich is 3rd.
Lapsevich is on the back bumper. They're coming out of turn number 4 right now on the front stretch. They're getting around with some lap traffic. You see Hall, he's just coming out now. Coming out of turn 2 is Lapsevich and Shako. That's Dylan Stovall, your leader. 1.2 seconds the gap between him and Shako.
Gap's not going to matter here because the competition yellow will be 4 laps away. Stovall running a pretty clean race. He's the fastest car on the racetrack consistently.
Well, that last lap, I mean, like I said, the gap is obviously not going to matter with this comp caution, but that last time, it was almost 4/10 were cut off by Shako.
Yeah, and Lapsevich both there. Yep, about near times, the better times there, near equal times there.
Yeah, you kind of see them on the right side. They're just outside the screen. They're just to the right of these guys, right of Dylan Stovall on your screen.
2 laps away from competition yellow. Stovall's car looks awfully good.
You see Shako piling in there right behind him at the bottom of your screen. Lap traffic coming up. Scott Thomas might be able to get through without going a lap down. We'll see.
Yeah, probably will, because we're going to get the competition yellow at the end of this next lap. So if it stays, it'll be Stovall, Shako, Lapsevich in a row. Your 2 front rows. There it is.
I'm curious now. Maybe in a second we'll throw things down to the guys on pit road. I mean, how cold these tires are going to be when we stop the cars. How about the tires that are just sitting there on pit road? I mean, do we have? I mean,
put them in the oven on preheat or what?
I was about to say we don't have the Formula One bags.
Not have tire blankets.
Yeah, exactly. And even so,
Who's got a heat gun?
Blankets will only help so much if it's you're actually keeping heat in, right? I don't think there's a lot of heat in to begin with.
A blowtorch? Is that legal?
Yeah.
A hair dryer.
Yeah, I was thinking more hair dryer or electric blanket or something like that.
Oh, a nice thick weighted blanket. That sounds comfortable right now in these fall months.
Scott Thomas goes pit side, guys. Maybe not surprising as that car would look like it was kind of hanging on. He pulls straight into his pits there.
Nose first, which is usually a sign of I might be done here, boys.
Well, they're jacking it up like they're not done. I think that, yeah, they're doing something. Nate, what do you got?
Yeah, they are making an adjustment there to the left rear of the race car. They were discussing on the radio, guys, how much time do we have, because they weren't quite sure. So they are just making an adjustment, trying to go quickly. Also, if we can swing the camera back the other way, Brian Bergaker is in. He and his team were just kind of discussing their plan on the restart, as they were going to be racing there and discussing some of the guys around them to compete with, but he has pulled that car in. They're going to add some fuel, and they're making a tire pressure adjustment to the left rear on that Lee Van Dyke owned 25 car that's put Brian Bergaker. We know how good he is, of course, won a modified race earlier this year. He is in pit road as well. So the 28, the 25 are in on my end of pit road, and there's a few other cars starting to work their way down as well. Trevor McCoy will make a stop. The 97 of Steinhorst will come in as well. So things suddenly on this end of pit road get busy. Is anything going down by you, Ryan Pilon?
Yeah, there's a couple of cars down here, like you said, Trevor McCoy and Max Steinhurst. They did come down, but they're kind of pretty far back in the field, so they're probably just going to make some adjustments, see if they can try to make something work for them to gain a couple spots here. But I was listening over to Evan Shako's radio. I mean, they've been obviously told throughout this entire race that, I mean, you got to keep and save your stuff as much as possible. And I would think that'd be the same for most of these guys up until that lap 100 caution that we're going to have. They just keep on saying, save the stuff. And Evan Shako did come over the radio and says that his tires are still good and they're gripping pretty good. So they're just trying to keep that 32 car behind them, maybe try to get past Dylan Stovall here soon. But just key of the game right now is just saving these tires up until that lap 100.
Well, I want to go back to Nate. Nate, have you been seeing any of the teams try to do anything with their tires? Are they allowed to do anything right now to kind of give them some temp?
I have not seen those teams do anything in that regard, what they've done. And you just saw the 25 roll off on pit road. I'm taking a walk right now with the camera down to check things out in Scott Thomas's pit. They continue to make an adjustment on the left front of that car. Been trying to scan their radio a little bit as well, as you see Steinhorst rolling by. But I also want to touch on a little bit of the tire save. It's, of course, the same thing down here as well on this end of pit road. The discussion with Blake Rowe, they were really focused with him and that race team of, you know, making sure he continues to save tires. So I don't think there's a ton of concern about how he was falling back. And they're working on with Tyler Lupton, trying to open the entry of the corner a little bit as well. So that idea in this first stint of saving tires, everyone is going to try to make it to lap 100 is the key.
All right, guys, thanks for the update. So, I mean, at this point, especially because it's early enough in the race, and if you're towards the back, you might as well come in. So you saw 4 or 5 guys trying to make it better. That certainly makes sense at this point in the race. Looks like we got 1 to go this time by. Dick Moore gives him the finger. He's got both gloves on now, though.
And by the way, guys, interesting little note. There's Dylan Stovall taking the high side. And obviously that's what helped get him in the lead too, Rick. So maybe with the colder temperatures, it's kind of helped a little bit as you see Nick Neary pull off. So here we go. Shako on the inside, Rowe on the high side, Lepsevich following Shako around, which has been the story for the last 20 or so laps.
A couple cars very late to the party. About the last 5 or 6 cars did not make the tail of the field.
On that restart, guys, you saw Evan Shako just a bit of a slip out of turn number 4, but it doesn't seem to affect him as he goes right to the lead and 3 wide for second.
Oh, Lepsevich is right there on the inside of Rowe, and right there is Stovall. He cuts the nose of Rowe. They keep it clean. Reisinga got a good jump on the restart. He got around Austin Hall. Look at Reisinga on the back bumper of that 71 car. He's going to say, I'm going to follow you around. That seems to be the right side, the high line right now. Shako in the lead, Stovall in second, Lepsevich hanging on to third.
Wow, a lot of dicey. So Evan Shako is able to grab the lead right off the restart at lap 51. See if he's able to do anything with it.
Remember, guys, Shako is no stranger to winning big races here. He's a former Battle at Berlin winner. He's won other races, but however, he does not have a win this season at Berlin. His lone victory in a template late model came in Jennerstown last month in a CRA race. He is trying to find a way to get a win here at his home track where he became one of the top young up-and-coming late model drivers on the short track scene. He's got a nice comfortable lead now as Lepsevich battling with Stovall here for second.
Yeah, Lepsevich has worked sort of graciously and confidently moved his way up. Battle for second. Lepsevich, the 32 car, gets on the inside of Dylan Stovall, the black 24. Battle the black cars here with 97 laps to go.
Boy, oh boy, great run here by Lepsevich. Rick, I mean, this is a guy, like we said, all those problems yesterday at the border. No practice. Qualified, had a decent run in the 75 lapper. Didn't like the car though, and obviously he's got to be liking it right now.
He's got to be loving the car, loving his position. We're not even halfway into this race. We're a third of the way through. If I'm sitting in second, the car's sitting pretty. Dylan Stovall, on the other hand, dominant so far, but now kind of minding his own business in third. So again, this is the evolution that we've been talking about happening right now.
I'm sort of curious, guys, to see what happens in this second segment, if you want to call it that. If anybody moves, and you know, from 5th on back, if we have one of these guys kind of sleepers, if anybody's able to move up or not, or the top 5 still kind of have the same breakaway, or if any of the guys towards the back able to use that conservative method to move their way through. That includes Joe Bush and others, as Scott Thomas pulls it off the pace and pulls it in pit side at lap 57.
We got a good battle on the backstretch right now. Tyler Lupton.
There goes
Andrew
Scheid.
Scheid goes around.
Scheid goes around, and he's going to just keep it off the tires. Caution flag.
One of the things that I was going to say, you mentioned, let's take a look at one of these guys that are coming up from the back. As you say that, Evan Scheid was rising through the back. You just saw him on the inside of Tyler Lupton, and I want to see another look to see if there was any sort of contact, but just off of first glance, Scheid on the left-hand side,
Let's
went
watch
for a
it here.
spin.
See Scott. Oh, boy. He was right next to Tyler Lupton there.
I wonder if we can get another look. We weren't quite sure. We were looking on the screen. If we can rewind that back there, Andrew.
Boy, the tires aren't going to love that.
Well,
after he just changed them,
he's
too.
coming at the top of your screen. Yeah.
Oh, definitely a little contact with Tyler Lupton there.
I don't think nothing intentional, of course. Just they came together in a racing deal, and
So,
Scheid saves it, scuffs him up a little bit.
Well, hits the grass and the gravel and the asphalt and the bumps on tires that are already sensitive. That's not going to help the claws. Let's go to pit road.
Yeah, I've got a look here on Andrew Scheid. The team is giving some attention to the left here. Andrew getting a drink of water as well. You see a little bit of damage touched off on the left rear of that race car. The team checking the stagger on the rear tires, but as that cosmetically, looks like everything good on the 88, but of course going to lose all the track position. And as you guys critically mentioned, the tires are not going to like that. So one of our strongest cars for sure in the field that was kind of biding his time until that comp break that's coming up at lap 100. Or 100 laps into the race. Certainly not what Andrew Scheid is looking for. They'll drop the car off the Jackson. The 88 will get ready to roll.
Thanks, Dave. Do we know if they changed tires on the 88? Didn't look like it.
They did not. There still is a sticker tire here off the right side of that race car. No one's going to change tires until lap 100, we expect.
Yeah, I just wondered with the damage and the spin he had there if he was going to maybe take him early. It seemed like it'd be a gamble, but nope, they keep it clean.
Madhouse restart. Well, I don't think Evan Shako learned from Dylan Stovall, because Dylan Stovall took the high side on the last restart. Shako got the good jump. Now Shako on P1 decides, I'm going to try the high side, and Trey Lepsevich is like, I'll take that bet. He takes the inside with Stovall now, and look who's on the outside of row 2, Rick James. That is Austin Hall.
Talk about a sleeper. Talk about a guy that's been coming up through these ranks as well. Plenty of race remains. However, let's see what he's made of.
And Bergaker comes in again for the second time.
Oh, man.
Scott Thomas comes out and back in again for the second time. I think Trevor McCoy might have done the same thing. And, of course, Andrew Scheid had to go pit side as well. So more busy pit road. Still 93 laps to go.
And, yeah, there's just a whole lot of wonder of what could happen here. Can Lepsevich get a good jump on Shako, or will Evan show that the high side can work on the restarts? Because, obviously, he proved Stovall wrong on the last one. They get to come to the restart zone between turns 3 and 4 as we're back underway. Green flag in the air.
Potentially cold tires, and Evan gets a good jump on the 22 on the outside. Lapsevich back to second for the moment. Austin Hall, the 20 car, up to third as they kind of stack up towards the back of the field a little bit.
Nope, one's around in 3. That
Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas spins. That's going to be another yellow.
Right out there in the bottom of turn number 3. Not quite sure what happened.
They were stacked up at the back of the pack there, and I don't know what triggered that, but it was heavy traffic, and maybe not surprised to see Justin Thomas around.
Well, it's kind of looking like the limited late model race where we're starting to see guys just kind of spin in weird spots here, and didn't even complete a lap that time too. And it's
Justin Thomas goes pit side now.
Well, I mean, probably just kind of make sure everything looks good and feels good.
I'd love to see what happened, though. As you mentioned, Matt, they got stacked up going into 3. Possibly, if we have another look, we could see if there was any help involved.
Let's go back to pit road.
Yeah, Justin Thomas actually is going to forego pit road. He runs straight back onto the racetrack, came down the exit road and rejoined in the exit of turn 4. So he rejoins the race right away, did not even stop by his box.
By the way, just as a quick side note, current temperature is 55 degrees here at the racetrack. We talked to Scott Thomas up here yesterday, and he mentioned that number specifically. He said these tires do not like it any colder than 55 degrees. Literally, that number is the number he picked. So keep that in mind as we see these restarts, we see the tire changes. We are at 55, and the temps ain't going up from here.
It's not getting it, exactly. That was going to be my words exactly. It's not getting any warmer.
That's what I was going to ask, like Nate and Ryan. They're down pit side. I mean, Ryan, does it feel like 55 degrees down there?
Well, I'll tell you guys that it's good that I'm wearing a jacket today. I'll tell you that.
So that's a yeah. That's a
so
no.
It's cold.
It's cold.
It's cold.
The good news is for the fans anyway, about us inside, the breeze has calmed down significantly from earlier. That kind of makes everything a little bit more pleasant. But other than that, it's cold.
He's just not running enough. That's all it comes down to.
Get moving, Ryan.
Right, he's got to get some more carnage down in his section of pit road. Then it'll be plenty warm.
It is not my fault that Andrew Scheid was the one that crashed and he came down to your side. There's nothing going on down here. Send him down.
Well, here's the good news or the bad news. Benny Slice, you mentioned the word carnage. That might be a little extreme term, but we're only 93. We still have 93 laps to go.
Chaos.
Plenty of time for anything to happen.
Give me another C word, I'll tell you.
Evan Shako on the outside. Trayton Lapsevich to the inside. Shako is officially your leader in the 22. We're back under green one more time.
Solid run once again by the 22 on that high line. He's keeping it rolling, and Austin Hall now trying to follow suit, but Lapsevich stays there. They're very close. Good response here by Lapsevich compared to that last restart. The 32's there, but it's still Shako in the lead to the 22.
Shako hangs on for now. Lapsevich second. Here comes Austin Hall in the 20. He's third.
Dylan Stovall falling all the way back to fifth after trying to start on that inside line. Tyler Reisinga in the 4 car, right on the right side of your screen, trying to get around Austin Hall.
I just saw Tyler Lupton running the highest line of any driver I saw at a turn number 4. I'm not sure if he's just trying to get comfortable and in space. Everybody's single file for now, but of course, let's see who adapts.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, you've seen some of the high line works for some guys, and if you're Lupton, you're kind of back there. Maybe you're trying things. You're not trying to push, but like, hey, let's see if this can work for us. We can use this later on tonight.
Well, yeah, and like I said, the upper groove has not really been working, except with maybe tonight is a little different. Well, someone's going to try it. By the way, guys, we mentioned about Joe Bush. Remember talking about cars sneaking their way up? Joe Bush started 14th. He's now up to 7th halfway through this event. Not saying he's going to win it, but if you have a creeper sleeper, Joe Bush in the 101 has quietly come up to 7th.
And Blake Rowe, who was second for the longest time, is the one he's trying to chase down Joe Bush. As you still see this good battle now for the lead developing. Lapsevich and Shako, they're pulling away. I mean, Lapsevich, I mean, all these other guys are saying, hey, let's maybe save our stuff. Let's kind of, Shako can if he's trying to hold on to this lead, because Trayton Lapsevich, there is something with that car that he says, I can make this work. I can keep pushing. And I remember we talked with Eric Jones before the battle at Berlin. He said these tires allow you to kind of push for longer periods of time. Now, granted, that's during the summer months when it's warmer out. We're seeing right now that even though there's a lot of time left, 86 to go this time by, guys, Trayton Lapsevich is giving Evan Shako all the heck in the world for the lead here in the Battle of the Pros.
Well, one thing that I've definitely noticed is that we've seen Dylan Stovall, Evan Shako just break out. They were out of there when they put their foot down and ran with the lead. Now Lapsevich doesn't want to let Shako run away with that lead. Possibly two strategies going on. Possibly Lapsevich really just giving it everything he's got. But certainly these two right now, the class of the field with these ever-changing temperatures.
If you go back to the backstretch just a little to the right of these guys, Blake Rowe trying to hold off Joe Bush.
Yeah, but Joe Bush is going to work on the inside. That's the 101 and 71 cars battle for 6th and 7th. We'll catch them here in just a minute.
Coming out of turn number 2 right now, the bottom of your screen.
There they come. We'll get them in just a minute here for you. 84 laps to go. There they are. Joe Bush did get around. I'm telling you guys, Joe Bush, we've seen him. He's quiet. He does this in a lot of events. And there's been some events, Tyler, we've seen Joe Bush literally make up 25 positions. It sounds crazy. He's actually done it in the 101 car. We don't know what the secret sauce they put in that car, but it's working so far.
And it's with this kind of race, with the stoppages and the fact that on the long runs he's great, and if they, with that scheduled 100 lap stop, he might be able to get the right tires on, get the right kind of the air pressure, and get everything to work for him. And if he gets a good restart, he will find a way to move up towards the front of the field.
Looking at the lap times, I want to see where Joe Bush is compared to the rest of the field. Shako and Lapsevich with the 2 fastest cars that time by the way. Austin Hall 3rd quick. So the top 3 are still the 3 fastest for the moment. We'll see how this one pans out as field separates out a little bit once again.
Rick James, if you're Lapsevich's spotter right now, what are you saying? I mean, are you saying just follow him around, or say, hey, let's go for it. Let's get the lead here.
Oh, one there. It's 97, you guys. That's Max Steinhorst right in front of the Berlin sign. He's going to park it, and that car had more than a couple of taps on the side.
Yeah, something happened there. Steinhorst, the beautiful looking 97. Caution flag at lap number 70.
Well, Tyler Cool, to answer your question, whatever you just told Trayton Lapcevich now doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, now you're going to get a regular restart.
Didn't see what happened to the 97 car, but he's definitely got damage to the right side. He's got damage on it. Let's watch here from the replay.
He's coming right
There's a
around
still cam.
right there.
Oh, something let go.
Oh, top up here. Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Slaps the wall.
That's harder than it looked. That is a not sure what happened, but he was along for the ride. He saw something broke. Not sure, tire down, suspension piece, whatever it was. Steinhorst slapped it pretty good. It could have been worse, I suppose, but that's a hard hit. It looked a lot harder. It is a lot harder than probably than it looked. We'll try to get a word with Max maybe and see what happened. So caution flag at lap 70. We're almost halfway.
And now here's the thing. We still have the proposed stop at lap 100. So a quote-unquote long green flag run won't matter at this point.
Yeah, we're going to have a 20-lap dash, I guess, is a way to slice it. Evan Shako, Trayton Lapcevich, Austin Hull, Tyler Reiskin, Dylan Stovall, Joe Bush, Blake Rowe, Tyler Lupton, Sam Johnson, Ken Watma, Andrew Scheid, Ryan Bergaker, Nick Neary, Trevor McCoy, and Scott Thomas. Cars left running.
By the way, I would think we said Andrew Hardy's one of our camera ops out in turn 3 said he heard a tire pop.
It sure looked.
So that would make a lot of sense.
If you watch the replay, it looks like he was rim riding on one of those. Let's watch it again here. Let's watch the still cam, and you can see it.
It's coming on the
right there.
Yep.
Oh, you just stopped turning.
Yep, right front probably looked like it went down.
Oh my gosh.
Kablam.
Oh. And
just when Brian Hammond thought his season was done.
Yeah, you got to repaint that white. That shot over there, guys, that will absolutely jerk your body an unbelievable amount. Let's go down to Nate.
Yeah, we've got
There's
a lot
shot of it right there on the wall.
Gosh.
Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot of the same guys that have been down pit road, working their way back down. Brian Bergaker, that team who's done a lot of work adjustments on the left rear. They're doing the same right now. Trevor McCoy is in on this end of pit road. Ryan Piemon, what's going on down by you?
Yeah, well, the 17 of Nick Neary is coming in there looking at their left rear tire and trying to make some adjustments, get their car back going. Justin Thomas is now out of the race. He has parked the car, came out of his car. Just talked to him, asked him what happened, and he said during that spin, something must have happened during the contact, and the tires just kept on chattering, kept on throwing them up the lanes, and just couldn't hold on to it. It wasn't worth it, so took it out and parked it. Justin Thomas will be out tonight, guys.
Let's go back down to Nate.
Yeah, just before we send it up, want to give a couple of updates on where some of the handling things are at. Some of those guys we've been talking about. Joe Bush, mentioned him as a guy that's been charging up through the field the last couple of laps. He still has had some complaints saying the car's even breaking loose on the straightaway, a little bit tight in the middle, but overall pretty happy with it. So there's a little bit of small adjustments coming up on that race car as Andrew Scheid is busting down pit road behind me as well. Meanwhile, the 71, Blake Rowe, been falling back through the field. He is, in his words, grasping for straws right now on the radio, suggesting maybe a left side tire pressure adjustment he wants to make. Also said, quote, the car just kind of feels weird is the word that Blake Rowe used. So the 71, not what they were looking for. What a car that we certainly thought was one of the very short list of favorites to win this thing.
Poor Scheid's kind of stuck it on pit road, guys. They just did the Madhouse research. They're double filed, so Scheid's going to be playing beat the clock. Thankfully, where his spot is close enough to the entrance of the track out of turn 4.
Yeah, they're gonna make it here. And Blake Rowe used the term, you never want your race car setup to be described as weird in a 150-lap race, so I don't think that's a term of endearment. Scheid will be able to join the tail of the field.
Well, you got 70 laps to unweird in the car.
Let's real quick go to Nate before we go back to Green.
I was quickly just saying Andrew Scheid, a couple of times, both times he's come down pit road, they've had some issues getting that car fired. He stalled it the first time, nearly did this time when he was leaving as well. So I don't know if there's something related there back to the contact and what he had going on earlier. You wouldn't think there's a connection, but they've had some issues firing off pit road to the 88.
Well, we're going to have to refire it again here in about 20 laps if we stay green. They kind of stack up a little bit. Got them to accordion there in the start. We're back under green. Evan Shako again, big jump for the 22. That's what he needs to do. As attrition starts to set in here just a little bit. Tires got cold. It's 55 degrees, maybe less now on the Mercury tires.
Lapcevich staying strong to the left-hand side of Austin Hull, but look towards the back, 2x2, a couple of rows deep. Blake Rowe behind Tyler Lupton, as it looks like we have a couple more drivers side by side. Attrition is a great word to use. Drivers struggling to get in single file formation or even get around each other.
So Evan Shako, 2-car length lead over Trayton Lapcevich. Then we're about another 10. You see back to Hall. That's a 4-car of Reisinger 4th, and then Stovall rounds out your top 5.
Reisinger very close to that back bumper of Austin Hall. Not necessarily trying to give him a push, trying to push him out of the way. He looks to the inside, does Reisinger, but he decides to back off a little bit. Hall's getting a good run out of these corners. 76 laps to go. We're nearing the halfway mark for $12,000 here in the Battle of the Pros at Berlin.
Might be a battle for the lead. It's hard to tell. They've been kind of doing a cat and mouse thing back up front. The battle of the black and white cars. Pick your favorite. The white and black one, the black and white one. Boy, they get close there. Lapcevich tries to pick the pocket on Evan Shako. Battle for the lead at exactly halfway. 75 in and 75 to go. Can Lapcevich find his way? The drive from Canada to Berlin in West Michigan. Can he make the pass at the halfway point? He's there. Down to the inside. Evan keeps it for now.
Very good hard push here by Lapcevich, but he just realized that now is not the time to push too hard. But also Shako is just getting the better run out of the corners on that high line. It's easier to roll off if you can master that second groove here. We've seen it with guys like Busch, with guys that have raced here for long periods of time. Tim DeVos being another. It's kind of easy for them to get these good runs, to get momentum out of them. It's the shortest way around the track, take the inside line, but sometimes the fastest is the second groove.
Got good position on him here. Lapcevich can't do it. Shako's car strong in the second groove, at least for now. 17 laps, we believe, until the next yellow flag will fall for the scheduled pit stop and tire change.
What a runoff for Evan Shako there, you guys.
Yeah, look at him get the bite in the second groove.
He just did it beautifully, and I think that's been what's kept him in the lead, because Trayton Lapcevich also gets alongside that inside wall, gets good grip there too. But look at Shako. Again, he just shoots out of the corner, and he's able to stay clear of Lapcevich, obviously, until now. See how high he just went there in 1 and 2?
Yeah, the upper groove. Look at him get the grip up there. We haven't seen this hardly at all. Berlin's kind of known for its wide turns and lots of racing grooves. But with the weather just being unbelievably humid and sticky, we didn't see a lot of guys try that. Tonight, the opposite. 50s, dry, no humidity, and a grippy racetrack. The second groove comes in for Evan Shako.
Man, it's hard to say what Lapcevich could do in this situation, right? I mean,
wear him down, right?
Yeah.
Just hang in there as long as you can.
And let's be fair, we've seen Shako have some pretty good runs this season in other, whether it be our weekly super late model races, the Money in the Bank, Battle at Berlin. And sometimes his car just kind of falling off at weird times. So yeah, if you're Lapcevich, not saying it's the rope-a-dope, but yeah, just kind of keep him honest, keep Shako pushing, keep him forced to use this car harder than he probably wants to.
Well, remember, we got 50 to go after the tire change. These two cars will be on the front row on the restart. So, you don't win the race here. So maybe you just let them go. Maybe you keep them there, keep them in your sights. We'll see what the calculation is.
That's why Austin Hall's sitting there in third. He's probably thinking, let's just keep it here as well, right? I mean, we don't need to push for the lead. We know we have to change tires. We don't have to worry about those tires when we get to that point. Even if you take the lead, you might not feel the most confident, because we've seen it in other races in our summer months, right? When guys change tires, sometimes they say, I'm like, man, I do not like these tires, even though they might be fresh. Whether it be the cooler temps tonight, it might play a factor when we get into that final 50-lap frame.
Ken Wama goes around Brian Bergaker, so that'll put Wama into the top 10, throw Bergaker back out of it. No other change on the racetrack at the moment. You can see the leaders there, the top three, no change. And now the field is officially all strung out. Everybody single file. 15 cars still running. Evan Shako, Lapcevich, and Hall. Reisinger, Stovall, Joe Busch, Lupton, Johnson, Rowe, and Wabma. Bergaker, Scheid, Neary, Thomas, and McCoy are the cars still on the racetrack, still running. 3 on pit road.
One thing I've noticed over the last few laps is that Austin Hall is kind of just yo-yoing between the within and without the 1 second threshold of being up to the top 2. That tells me they know that there's 13 laps to go until this competition caution or this tire change that they're so desperately looking forward to. I agree with you, Matt McKenzie. Save your stuff. Wait for that new set.
Well, you never know with tires out here, if you get a set of tires your car doesn't like, or maybe something that can be complete game changer here. No way of knowing until you strap them on and heat them up, but we're going to find out here shortly. I don't think, guys, barring something unforeseen here, I don't think we're going to see anybody jump on a line here this last 12. I think we're going to be in for a small parade. for just a little bit.
Well, right now it's a black parade here, if I dare use my My Chemical Romance fandom, with Shako and Lepsevich leading the way.
Tyler, that's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Shout out to all the My Chemical Romance fans watching.
They were just in town recently here, Greg.
Were they really?
Yeah.
That'd be something to see. Yeah, shout out to all the MCR fans who also happen to love late model racing on Flow.
There might only be a few of us, but you know what? Shout out to them.
We're here.
We're here for you.
Shotko, Lapsevich, Hull, Rising, Stovel. You see your top 5 there. Nobody's really jumping out of line. Everybody's almost kind of sort of equidistant. There's a couple cars kind of close towards the back of the pack. Blake Rowe and Ken Wabma are kind of close together, along with Andrew Scheid, who's been playing catch up all day long in the 88. That's about it, though. Everybody else is kind of not even within spitting distances. Again, we're on a sort of a cruise here. The question is, after the pit stop, what's going to be different, right? There's going to be changes going on, different tires, cold tires. We'll check the temperatures too after the pit stop, see if we dropped it all.
Cold, I mean, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like, usually you can say, oh, this guy's been running well. Yeah, Shako.
Yeah, I think we really, in this case, you got to assume the guys that are running well get in here and run well, but let's go back and watch. We got a few minutes here before we take a break. Let's go back to the 9th position. Blake Rowe, Ken Wabma, Andrew Scheid.
They're coming into turn number 1 right now.
Right now, yeah, this is kind of closest battle we've got on the racetrack. We'll catch them in here. So Wabma's in the 27 car, the orange one right there. They were coming in the shot right now. Wabma down working on the inside. Or check that, that's Andrew Scheid working down the inside of Blake Rowe, whose car continues to fade back a little bit.
88 gets around that 71 successfully for the position, while we still watch Evan Shotko go to the inside of Trevor McCoy. There's Andrew Scheid now around.
Yeah, so Scheid is again playing catch up all day long. He was able to get around.
There's Shako, and you see now Hall's kind of closing in quietly here on Lapsevich. Here's finally the battle for Wabma's.
Yeah, maybe uncharacteristically, Blake Rowe has fallen all the way back to 10th, guys. I don't think we expect to see that at the 71 car at all. He's dropping like an anchor here, and Wabma might be able to get him, and that'll put Wabma in the top 10 and throw Blake Rowe out of it if the 27 car can get around.
I mean, well, what did we say? What did Nate say? Blake Rowe's car? How do you describe it?
Weird. Yeah. Well, Blake Rowe wasn't here yesterday. Not that that matters so much, because Rowe is a certainly accomplished race car driver. Scheid was here but did not race. I mean, Scheid was here but did not race. Neither did Rowe. Ken Wabma was here. He finished 6th yesterday in the 27. Bergaker was here behind them, but he's struggling this afternoon as well. Should be 1 lap away from the scheduled yellow.
Was it yesterday in our group chat we were talking about drivers saying that yesterday is a test session for tonight?
Different kind of test session, because a lot of these guys in the race couldn't be there, couldn't race it.
Right.
Or
Evan didn't race it or didn't race. Lapsevich is the only guy in the top 3 here, or top 5 that raced it. And there's a green flag, there's a yellow flag as expected with 50 to go. So that we have a time period here for all cars to make adjustments and tire change. And so there'll be no panic in the pits, as it were, but we will have our pit guys cover it.
See, you say that, but there's probably some teams like, all right, guys, we got to do this, that.
Well, yeah, the question, how big is the grocery list, right, of all the things we got to get done here? So we'll get this one set back down here. We'll get everybody on pit road, and we'll send it to our pit guys to see what they're seeing.
This might be a really crazy thing to ask. But your tires.
I don't do requests.
Well, I'm just wondering. I was thinking about this. Like, if your tires stayed hot, if this was a comp yellow and you could just keep your tires, would you want to just keep the warm tires, even though I know they're 100 laps old? But do you want to throw two cold ones on?
I can't.
But then again, we are fully stopping, so the tires will cool down anyways. But
Yeah,
I was just kind of thinking about that. I'm like, I'd rather almost want to go 150 on some lukewarm tires compared to having these frozen pieces of rubber that are closer to hockey pucks than they are.
They're not quite frozen yet, but yeah, I don't think they're keeping them in the deep freeze. But your point's well taken. I mean, you got to think though, 100 laps in a set of tires, you got to take fresh tires, regardless of how long they've been in the freezer.
Vulcanized rubber slides, Matt. I played the game for a minute.
That's right. Well,
it hurts a lot too.
Speaking of sliding, there goes the pace truck, and everybody's going to slide in. That's something you don't see very often. pace truck down pit road with the lights on.
What's he going to do? Keep driving around in circles by himself?
He might park at the end, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
He's kind of like leading a parade. Well, here they come. Well, it's not the frantic NASCAR type pit stops where we're changing tires in 13 seconds, but got a little bit extra time. Nate, we'll start with you. What intel can you share with us as everybody's coming in?
Yeah, this is definitely more chill than what we had a couple of weeks ago back in the 250. Have a good look here on Trayton Lepsovic's team. They go to work on the 32. They'll add some fuel, make some adjustments to that race car. Joe Bush also on your screen. They're going to roll in. Remember what I mentioned about Joe complaining a little bit of a car that was loose on the straightaway. Note on Joe Bush, he was late to the track today. His youngest daughter was getting married. He ran to the track, a little bit of limited practice. He was able to get here in time, and he and the team, they were telling me about that before the race. They've been able to put together a good run. They're going to make some adjustments right here. He's on his way in. If we scroll just to our left side right here, look at a couple of Van Dorn cars, the 71, the 4, the 88. They are all in. Remember, they're going to make those tire pressure adjustments that Blake Rowe, who's been very unhappy with his race car, have been asking for. Tyler Lupton as well. He was told by the team, way to battle, kid, because he had a kind of rough run right there. Wasn't loving the race car. He was okay as the run went on, but especially just tight in the center. The main thing that Tyler Lupton was complaining of in that car. So everyone, it's pretty straightforward. They'll make the right side tire change right here. They'll make all the adjustments they could possibly want for, and that's all what's going on this end of pit road. Let's send it down to Ryan Pilon and what he's got his eye on.
Well, I think you said it exactly right. I mean, it's basically a mellow pit strategy down here. All the cars are basically doing the same thing, putting those two tires on as they were going to be doing. Probably the plan was at the beginning of the race for all these teams, but as you've seen on your team, Evan Shako, he is the race leader right now, and they're just telling him on the radio, be smooth, just keep it going. I mean, but that's before the 100 laps, so once this race gets back going, I'm sure they're going to be a little bit more aggressive, not as smooth as you would think, but another team that is kind of coming into the fray, Austin Hall, he's sitting at their position number 3 of this race. And I mean, if you think about it, he won the Battle at Berlin earlier this year. So if you talk about these big, long races, he's got a pretty big resume about how to finish these ones strong. In that race, he didn't really lead every single lap or so, but coming down to the wire, he was able to take the win. And I'm sure he's just keeping it smooth before these lap 100, but once this gets back going, he'll probably try to push it as hard as possible, Nate.
Yeah, I'll add on about Austin Hall, because one thing I heard on his radio from spotter Carl Usher is he said perfect pace. So when he settled into that 3rd spot, I think they were really happy with that, where that race car is at. He has been incredibly confident in that race car. Certainly will be one to continue to watch for. Changes continue to go on down here. Joe Bush's team, they've got the fan on the radiator out front. They're getting ready to go, and the first of the cars are starting to fire off of pit road as well. It says we're about 2 minutes just passed into this first stop. A good look on your screen still of that 20 car I was just mentioning. Blake Rowe's team making wholesale changes. If we can flip to the other camera on screen in the 71 car right here, as again, he's been very unhappy with that race car falling back through the field all the way back to the 10th spot. One of our favorites. They're working on the front end of the race car on that TK Racing, which is really in some ways a pseudo Van Dorn factory car. It's a very similar team to what Carson Hocevar runs with, of course the same number as well, and a car that runs competitively on pro touring circuits as well. Joe Bush has fired up the 101. He will return to the racetrack. We'll see if they're able to make some of those changes on the loose down the straightaway, tight in the center of the corner complaint that Joe had as they're trying to work on getting the power down. The 101 will roll off. Tyler Reisinger's team wrapping up as you see Sam Johnson come down pit road in the 24 car as well. So everyone ready to go. Reisinger rolling off now as well. We'll send it back up to the booth right here as we're getting ready to get back underway as the teams are wrapping up their break, and whatever changes they can make, it's going to be a fascinating final 50 laps.
Yeah, and one thing I don't know if I was wrong on what I was seeing was they were looking at Evan Shako's pit. They had fans pointing at the tires. They had a couple. Now, I don't know if they were heaters, because they looked like they're typical fans they use to kind of cool off the engine. I don't know if they want to cool off the tires in this condition, so I wonder if there's a heat setting on that thing, because that, I mean, that we were talking about how can you keep tires warm. I guess just put a heater on them.
Yeah, one of those combination heater blower things. Field comes
heater,
out.
Blower things.
You know, one thing you can set to air conditioner or heat or whatever, it's like a multi-use fan, right?
Hair dryer. Fan. I was say hair dryer.
Well, no, it blows cool too, right? You know, all right, you appliance geeks. All right, with that, we're going to take a 1-minute break. We'll come back. We'll get the field reset here, and we'll bring it all to you next. The final 50 is coming to you right next. You're watching Berlin Raceway on Flow.
Try the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Text the keyword to get the works, our best wash on us.
VFIS proudly pioneered specialized insurance protections for America's emergency service organizations over 50 years ago. As an independent producer for the country's largest insurance provider for firefighters, EMS personnel, and other first responders, we help bring Michigan's first responders peace of mind so they can focus on what matters. VFIS of Michigan, family owned, Michigan proud, protecting our heroes since 1979.
And you're back at Berlin Raceway. Berlin Pace Truck getting ready to pull away and get this one underway for the final 50. Matt McKenzie along with Tyler Cole. Rick James up top for you. Nate Dreyer and Ryan Pilon handling things pit side. Thanks for joining us. The final 50 laps of the Pro Late Model weekend here. Battle of the Pros. 50 to go. Evan Shotko's grabbed the lead at lap 51. It's now lap 100. Trey Lapsevich runs second. Austin Hall third. Tyler Reising and Dylan Stovall.
Now, I wonder, do they give them some pace laps here? They shut off the engines, which in the summertime, that might be okay. That might allow the cars to kind of cool off, allow the tires to cool off.
Yeah, you got.
There's no cooling out here.
Yeah, you got to think. In fact, so it was 55 degrees a half hour ago. Let's check the current temperature here at the racetrack. That's kind of been the story on these 54 degrees. We've dropped 1 degree. And again, we talked about the magic number for these tires, as mentioned yesterday by Scott Thomas, 55 and below. They don't like it. So we're at 54, don't like it zone.
And for our fans north of the border, that's about 11, 12 degrees.
Thanks, Celsius. Yes, thank you.
I was talking to a buddy of mine today up in Canada. I'm like, yeah, we're going to be racing about 10 degrees tonight. He's like, heck yeah, warm tires are overrated. And I'm like, except for these ones.
So we will see. Got 2 fresh tires. We're assuming they all went on the right sides. So we'll see. The restarts have been a little bit wild, guys, in the past 2 events tonight. The restarts is when we saw the problems in the late models and the Sportsman cars, when we had a little bit more of the wild action. We'll see if that's any different at all.
So my question for the rest of these drivers is, how are you going to act now? This is the final act. That is the money stop, if you will. So what you got is what you got. We look at those sleepers like Austin Hall. We mentioned Joe Bush. Andrew Schott has been hanging out at the back. Maybe some of these back markers have made an adjustment or two to now move to the front.
Sam Johnson on the inside of row number 4. He finished 3rd last night. The Purdue Boilermaker. He says,
there you go.
Racing cars is more expensive than going to college. Just head back down to pit road. I thought I heard.
Yeah, I was just going to hop in and say, I mean, I was talking to some of the crew members of Austin Hull's team and kind of asking what's the strategy going in this last 50 laps, and they kind of just said, I mean, it's basically just like a normal Berlin Raceway 75 lap race, and so a lot of these local guys probably have the advantage there. Just push it pretty hard like they normally do, and just do it routinely. Just keep on going and push it hard as much as they can.
We're going to find who pushes the hardest to the finish line here. 50 laps to go. Lapsevich the inside. Shotko's been running the outside groove. It's worked for him pretty well tonight. Lapsevich gets more of a jump there on him a little bit. That might have been what Lapsevich needed to grab the lead, and he sneaks it away almost kind of sort of.
Yes, he does. The Grimsby, Ontario native clears Evan Shako. At least he did. He had a chance to clear Shako.
I think you might hear. Yeah, so Lapsevich, after that restart 100, grabs the lead.
He knew he had to get a good jump on that restart. He saw what Shako did the last couple of times. So he said, I'm going to get down in there. I'm going to put the pedal down and go for it. He did. He's leading the battle of the pros. We got 48 laps to go.
Lapsevich first, Shako in second. They're starting to pull away from Tyler Reising, sitting in 3rd, Hull in 4th, and our Dylan Stovall, who led the majority of this race so far, sits in that 5th position. Joe Bush in 6th.
We'll see who can make any moves here. Brian Bergaker kind of hanging around there near the top 10. Shako trying to keep it close for Lapsevich. Tyler Reising, a great jump on that restart. Can he make any moves?
Tyler Lupton on the inside of Joe Bush as well. We're talking about My Chemical Romance and Tyler Cool. Teenager scared the living heck out of me is what all of Tyler Lupton's competition says. Look at him just get around Bush. Here comes Rowe as well. That 4 car is also on the move.
Yeah, watching the 4 car, Joe Bush. Blake Rowe made a lot of changes to the 71.
A really good run by Tyler Lupton on that restart. He knew he had to have a good jump, trying to figure things out.
Sam Johnson now on the inside, working on Blake Rowe. See if any of these changes made any difference for these cars that struggled here today.
And remember, no more comp yellows, only natural ones. We might go 50 green here. We might not. The way the races went earlier today, I would suspect that would not be the case, but we have some close battles near the back of the pack. Very tight racing, but so far we stay green.
Nick Neri sent it in really deep there on the 27 of Ken Wadma. They're still side by side out of that second corner. Sanity and calmness prevails as most of these drivers are single file.
Yeah,
but
Neri threw it in there. You watched the same night. He threw it in there a ton, and thankfully able to get around. So that's going to put Neri up to 12th, throw Wadma back to 13th. Again, only 15 cars left running as we get kind of settled out again here. 42 laps to go in this one. Lapsevich, Shako, Reisinga, Hull, and Stovall, your top 5.
Starting to accordion just ahead of Nick Neri as well. There you see Austin Hull working on the inside of Trayton Lapsevich.
Nope, that's Tyler. That's
Tyler
Reisinga.
Excuse me.
Reisinga got a really good jump on that restart. Hull already won the battle at Berlin this year.
That's the battle for 3rd. That's the one we're watching. Hull on the inside, and the 20 car trying to get past the 4 car of Reisinga. These guys battle week to week here at Berlin and the super late model division.
And both of their first ever super late model wins last year, guys, remember, came on the same night when we had twin 35 lap features. That's the reason why Reisinga was ineligible to race last night.
Hull down to the inside, trying to make the pass on the 20 car, the inside of Reisinga. That's the battle for 3rd.
Look how close they get there.
How close they get, but they don't touch.
These guys racing for big money in this race, not a points race that we typically see. They get very close. Reisinga and Hull trying to keep it close. Reisinga trying to fight back for that podium spot as Hull bottoms out and slides. You see some smoke coming out of that right rear tire. He saved it just enough as Reisinga kind of noses his way ahead, but Hull ain't going away.
Hull got squirrely the lap prior in turn 1 as well, just lost a small amount of grip in turn number 1, slid up the racetrack, and it looks like he's controlled this time as well, but certainly these two giving it everything for this 3rd spot. Look at that.
Again. Look at Hull saw the wheel and the 20 car. You don't see a lot of saw on the wheels in the template late model cars here. That's more of a Sportsman type thing.
Well, thankfully, Austin Hull has plenty of experience in that. A two-time Sportsman champion.
That's right. Blake Rowe gets around Joe Bush, by the way, so Blake Rowe salvaging his day a little bit.
And here's the thing, guys. With no more caution in sight and a pretty spread out race, you're looking at Evan Shako's side. Do you have enough in the tank to push? If you're Hull and Reisinga, even if whoever gets in this, do you have enough to push and try to challenge for maybe even 2nd, let alone for the win? At this stage of the race, I mean, with the gaps that we're seeing, Lapsevich has looked pretty calm and clean. Shako hasn't really gained or lost ground on the 32 car. Yeah, like unless we have another caution late in this race,
that's probably going to be the only thing that's going to change the composure of it.
And the only 2 guys that might cause a caution are these 2 on your screen, Austin Hull and Tyler Reisinga. The only real side-by-side battle. You have Tyler Lupton and the 24 of Dylan Stovall behind them, but they're not really closing and pushing the envelope there either.
Well, and I think the gap has been closing as Austin Hull and Tyler Reisinga battle side by side. The 2 drivers behind them start to creep up, and I've noticed this over the last few laps as well. Austin Hull is trying to get as high an exit as possible out of turn number 2 and 4. You see him drifting just a bit higher up the racetrack, trying to take the line away from Reisinga.
And he gets more speed up there if he can get up there. But Reisinga's got it's kind of a pirouette, a dance. You have to kind of slide in there together. And right behind him, Lupton's trying to get around Dylan Stovall to crack the top 5. Right behind him, the 2 black cars. You see him right behind him, and all of a sudden they're 2 by 2. 29 laps to go.
4 cars side by side now. Stovall and Lupton, both winners, both first-time winners this season at Berlin in our Tech-10 Super Late Model Series.
Hull cannot make it work down the inside. Reisinger grabs the spot back. Here comes Lupton trying to make the inside groove work for him on Stovall in the 24.
He might make it work, but he might run into the back bumper of Austin Hall if it keeps going. Dylan Stovall trying to use that high line to stay away from Lupton and try now to get to Austin Hall as Hall gets a little
loose again. That's not the first time we've seen the 20 car dance around a little bit. Now which way do you go? Hull's up a little bit. Lupton, the 4 car, the 14-year-old race car driver in the 4. No change up front. Still a half-second lead for Trey Lapsevich. We'll stay with this battle.
Still about a half-second lead there for Trayton Lipsevich. And Shako might be closing in a little bit. Let's take a look at that, guys. Going on the backstretch, Shako has closed the gap just a hair. And there is a lap car coming up here for Lipsevich.
He has reeled him in a little bit. Yeah, this is Trevor McCoy. They'll hit him here in a minute, not literally, but.
Yeah, it's about the same time, but.
Catch his position on the racetrack. Here goes Evan.
And Evan kind of knows now as we're looking at 24, now 23 next time by to go in this race for $12,000. He knows he's got to start pushing. He was the fast qualifier for a reason. This car won for him last month. Can he do it here tonight at his home track? Something he hasn't done in over a year.
He did close that gap by 1/10 last time, 0.37, now 0.26, and this time at the line, we'll see if it's even closer. We say it all the time. One thing to catch him, it's another thing to pass him. Now what does Shako have in the tank?
He's got 22 laps. The time is running out. The clock has been wound, but it's winding down. If you got anything left, you got to think with now with 20 to go, you don't hold anything back. This is it. Evan is there. 22 car shot goes there. Former Berlin Super Late Model champion. Battle Berlin 250 winner. Oh, Evan's car starting to look good, guys. The 22 looks like it might be coming.
Look at that high line in 3.
Yep.
Come down with all that speed.
Well, remember, Evan on the restart took the top groove. Now he shoves it to the inside. Maybe a little sneaky move. I don't think he's going to be able to keep it down there. No, I didn't think so. He got close. Can't get the momentum he needs to slide up. If there's no car there, it would have been perfect. He would have got the full momentum he needed. But now, 19 to go on Lapsevich, who now takes the middle part of the corner, blocks the upper groove. Evan gets a good shot on the inside. This may be what he needs to get around.
But can Lipsevich respond on the high line? They come close. Shako now on the inside. Bumps down there, turn number 4. Lipsevich holds the lead, but they're side by side for the lead. 18 laps to go in the battle of the pros.
Wow. And a battle for the lead and $12,000. Evan's car twitches a little bit. That's going to allow Lapsevich to get a little bit of that spot back. And I don't think Evan's going to be able to clear him here. He's not. Lapsevich on the outside. Evan Shako the inside.
That's so impressive to me because I've seen Evan Shako do most of his work on the high side tonight. I don't remember seeing Lapsevich doing too much racing on the high side, but he's holding it there beautifully. Talk about boxing out and having a strong defense, but how about Shako now?
Wow, Shako really runs him up the hill there a little bit, and that's allowing him to snag it back with 16 laps to go.
Such a good battle, and Lipsevich tried to do everything he could to hold him off, tried to run that line, tried to run the high line, something he hadn't really done all night tonight. Shako's car just a little too much that time.
We'll see if anything changes here at lap 15, or Shako's finally able to get the groove he wants and drive the lane he wants and pull away a little bit now with 15 to go.
All right, now, can Lipsevich respond? It's been sometimes tough for these late models. These template late models, after they've given up a lead or give up a spot, for them to bounce back, to respond. Can Lipsevich kind of just hold his line, keep it close to Shako, and maybe take a shot late, or can Shako put the pedal down and run away?
The only thing I was going to say, the only maybe thing that's coming up, there's going to be a couple lap cars that they're going to catch here.
But is there enough? You have, who is it? You have
they're going to catch
Scott Thomas, and you have Ken Wabma.
That's about it. Just saying, if you want any possibility of something happening, they're going to catch those guys before the race is over. Where they hit them is probably where it's going to matter. 12 to go, so they're definitely going to get there. But now Evan Shako stretches it out, guys, a couple car lengths, and that's breathing room he desperately needed.
Over half a second the gap this time by, so yes, they're going to catch those lap cars, but
it may not matter.
Exactly. No. Trayton Laptovich has to be there for that to matter. 10 to go, 9 at the line after that.
Boy, what's
Tyler Rising is third, by the way. Austin Hull fourth. There's that battle. And then Tyler Lupton, who had kind of, oh boy. I thought they were going to make contact there. Thankfully, Hull went up the hill a little bit.
A couple of Van Dorn teammates right there going side by side there on the back straight.
Slap fenders there again. No, again, it's a pirouette. You got to dance together. Oh.
Yeah, holding hands or next to each other?
I don't know. Whatever you want to call this.
I think Hall could reach out of his window and just grab Lupton's car. They're that close.
Yeah, they are that close. Lupton having a good run here towards the end of this one. Caution flag comes out, and this is going to change the whole thing.
Oh, Scott Thomas around in turn 1.
Oh, no.
Wow. Well, Scott Thomas around in turn 1, which is odd only because, well, now there's 9 laps to go. Scott Thomas was by himself, the next car to go a lap down. You wonder how he got sideways. It doesn't really matter. Let's watch to see what happened. Did he just lose it?
Yeah.
Right in front of the leaders.
Man. And that's just how this night has gone. It's below 55 degrees, Matt McKenzie.
Is it? What are we down to? Are we down to 53 yet?
My phone still says 55.
Okay, we're close.
Well, your phone must be wrong. Matt McKenzie's was the.
I had 54. It might have gone up. All this heat from the racetrack, race cars, we brought it up a degree here. Well, that was an unexpected caution, and so now it all changes, doesn't it, guys? 9 to go.
Man, this is.
My phone is garbage. Now it says 52.
Well, there you go. That's more like it.
Okay, we'll split the difference. It's getting cold. That's what we do now.
It's below the Scott Thomas temperature for tires.
Yeah.
But man, this is going to be
9 to go.
So now now you're having Shako.
You take the top of the bottom
because you got beat on the lead. You're 2 for 3 on running on the high side against Trayton Laptovich.
You passed him on the inside, right?
Passed him on the inside, but you have to think about it this way. It took him 34 laps to pass Laptovich.
Yeah.
We don't have 34 laps.
No.
If Laptovich gets him on this restart.
Ken Wapma's in, by the way.
Don't forget that Evan Shako was also the new leader after the restart on lap 51 as well. So Shako was able to.
Evan takes the top, guys, by the way, where you're talking there. Didn't mean to interrupt you, Rick, but.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. So you want questions? We got answers, and we got them. Shako takes the top. Is that going to pay off? Or is that going to give remember, this Laptovich grabbed the lead with this scenario before. So it's Evan Shako, Laptovich, and Reisinger, Hull, Lupton, Stovall, Blake Rowe, Joe Bush, Andrew Scheid, Sam Johnson, Brian Bergaker, Nick Neary, Ken Wabma, Scott Thomas, Trevor McCoy.
I tell you what, for $12,000, 9 laps to go, now with everyone bunched back up, guess what, kiddos?
Oh, boy.
If you have anything left, you're going for it.
And it's even colder than it was 20 minutes ago when we restarted this one. You can 52, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. It's not warm. Cold tires have been a curse tonight. We'll see if that matters or not, or how cold they got. Ken Wabma comes back out of the pit, so everybody's going to be able to continue. Hang on for 9. The restart's going to be everything. Evan's got a lot of experience at Berlin in the 22. Can he make it pay off here at Berlin?
It's football weather right now. If you have a chance, this is your Hail Mary. Laptovich keeps it down there on the inside. Tyler Lupton with a great run on the high side with Tyler Reisinger. That's been the story on the high line, getting the good restarts. But there's Laptovich putting the nose in there, driving it hard and deep, staying side by side. Shako in the lead.
Evan gets a good bite on the outside. Shako gets a good bump to the 22. Austin Hull gets through, slides up the racetrack, almost smacks into Reisinger. He's going to lose 2, 3, 4, 5 positions as they stack up. Evan Shako goes back to the lead for the moment. almost piled up behind him. Great heads-up driving by everybody as Austin Hull's car slips back 4 positions.
Lapsevich, though, now back on the inside for the lead. Still right there, and he still can't quite pull it off the move as Shako gets a great run coming out of turn 2.
Tyler Lupton now battling for 3rd right behind all of this. Lupton was all the way out of the top 10 a little bit ago. You see the 4 cars going at it.
Dylan Stovall to the inside of Austin Hull, 2 wide there, 2 wide ahead of them with Lupton and Reisinger. Shako starting to open up the lead over Lapsevich. 5 circuits remain in West Michigan.
Boy, oh boy, could this have been any better of a restart for Shako, even though with Lapsevich kind of gave him that right hook. Shako came back with the left to take the lead once again. He is looking at 4 laps to go next time by for trying to pick up his first win since May of last season.
Looking good for Shako. He's going to hang on for 4 more laps. Lupton gets past Reisinger for 3rd. Great recovery for the 4 car. Throw Reisinger back to 4th. Stovall, your top 5. Hull slid back to 6th. Blake Rowe, Joe Bush, Andrew Scheid, and Bergaker, your top 10.
I don't know if Trayton Lapsevich has anything left for Evan Shako. That 22 is bad fast today during qualifying. He's managed to take the lead and lose the lead and get it back again. And on a hectic restart, when crunch time was upon us here at Berlin Raceway, he was able to take it back with $12,000 in sight. 2 laps to go for Evan Shako.
Looking good for Shako. 2 at the line. Toothpicks up from Tony Postma. He pulls it out the lead, almost a second now over Lapsevich. Lupton up to 3rd. As they're really stacking up behind him with 1 to go.
Things are close in the back, but the white flag is in the air. Evan Shako, for all the problems, for all the adversity his team has gone through, from setting up cars to driving his own car, he makes it work tonight in the biggest race here in September. Evan Shako wins the Battle of the Pros.
Lapsevich is 2nd, Tyler Lupton 3rd, Tyler Reisinger 4th, Dylan Stovall, Blake Rowe, Austin Hull, Andrew Scheid. Boy, they were jammed up for 5th on back. Joe Bush comes home 9th. Sam Johnson, Brian Bergaker, Nick Neary, Ken Wapma, Scott Thomas, Trevor McCoy. That is your 15 finishers in the Battle of the Pros. Race length 1 hour and 13 minutes and 5 seconds.
Who doggies? What an exhilarating finish for Evan Shako. A much needed start. Man, I think he's going to be happy, boys.
Assuming he passes tech here.
You just had to insert the seat of doubt, didn't you?
There will be fireworks immediately following tonight, so pit road guys, just a heads up. Once we talk to Evan, they're going to turn the lights off and fireworks are going to go off. So be careful about walking around in the dark.
Well, just don't walk where the big booms are going.
They're thankfully off the racetrack. Or at least that's hopefully where they stay.
Next Saturday night, would you please, let's just tear this place down. We're going to have ourselves a championship celebration. I hope you all stick around because we do have a very good firework display. Project 90 ready to go. Once we hear from Evan Shako, and then we'll be down.
Evan Shako there getting on the scales. There were some fireworks for sure during this race. We'll have some fireworks here after.
Next week is championship race night at Berlin. Everybody races tonight. The super late models, limited late models, Sportsman 4 cylinders, and the Reveal Hammer Outlaw late models will be tacked onto the program. Join us next week here on Flow Racing as well, and we'll have it all for you. It's going to be a great night, and weather forecast here is sunny in mid-70s, so we won't have the cold temps like tonight. It's going to be near picture-perfect racing. Evan's getting ready to climb out. He's up and out of the car. Boy, that's a big win for him. Nice run for Evan Shako. Let's go to victory lane.
Evan Shako goes to victory lane for the first time this year at Berlin, and you pocket 12 grand to go along with it, the first ever winner of the Battle of the Pros. First off, I know it's been a little bit of a tough season for you and this team. What does it mean to win a race like this in the fashion that you guys did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys knew the time and money it took to get here, we've had a really rough year and a half or so, but I feel like we got our program back on track. This thing was a hot rod, but just thank you for all my crew and all the fans that stuck with us through the down times.
Take us through that final restart. First off, what went through your head when the caution went out? And then what were you able to do? How were you able to get around the 32, stay around the 32, and go to victory lane?
Well, Trayton is about as good of a race car driver as you get. So even though I felt we had the better car, I knew it was going to be tough to hold him off there. So it was definitely a little nerve-wracking, but looking back on it, I'm glad it happened. That way I could go head-to-head against one of the best in the business.
Congratulations, Evan.
Thank you.
Evan Shako, first trip to victory lane this year. He makes it count. Pockets $12,000.
Fantastic run for Evan Shotgill to get hugged from family and hard-fought battle. Great first inaugural event. We're called. There's Don DeWitt. Hits him on the back. That's one way to do it. Track owner hits you on the back and then hands you $12,000. I get punched in the back for that too. Oh, there's Tim Green. Everybody's down there super excited about that. That's pretty cool. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take an extended break here. Fans are going to get treated to some fireworks, and if we are able to, we'll get you a couple more thoughts here from the closing night at Berlin Raceway if we are able to. But with the fireworks going off and the lights off, we might be limited on that. There's Billy Shotko back there. He's got to be happy as well. So extended break from Berlin. We'll come back and potentially wrap things up. Thanks for joining us as well. We'll wrap things up as we come back as Evan Shotko celebrates with a $12,000 paycheck. You're watching Berlin Raceway on Flow.
Try the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Text the keyword to get the works, our best wash on us.
VFIS proudly pioneered specialized insurance protections for America's emergency service organizations over 50 years ago. As an independent producer for the country's largest insurance provider for firefighters, EMS personnel, and other first responders, we help bring Michigan's first responders peace of mind so they can focus on what matters. VFIS of Michigan, family owned, Michigan proud, protecting our heroes since 1979.
And you're back at Berlin Raceway. The fireworks go off for the Battle of the Pros. Well, it was a long weekend. It wasn't a win, but a long weekend for Trayton Lapsevich. Comes home second. He's down with Nate as the fireworks go off in the background. Let's get his thoughts after a hard-fought weekend.
Yeah, certainly a hard-fought weekend, like the guys said, for you and the team. Wind up coming home second when it's all said and done. Take us through the final restart there. What more did you need to find a way around the 22?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I did everything I could. I mean, we got a good restart. I kind of drove him up the track a little bit in 1 and in 3, and I just couldn't get him to budge. I needed him to just lose a little bit of drive off 4 and, you know, be able to get a run down the front stretch to clear him. But no, I felt like did everything we could. We were just this close. I mean, we just needed a little bit more drive, and maybe we will hold him off there and never would have gotten by us. But congrats to him. He ran a great race, great team, great car. Big thanks to my guys. The Glenn Stires Racing Ace Service number 32 was good, and, you know, especially considering all we went through yesterday, we're still happy to come home P2. Would have been nice to been one better, but we'll take it.
You won the ARCA race. We've seen you run so well here, second place here today as well. What is it about you in this racetrack that just seemed to mesh so well, regardless the kind of car you're in?
Yeah, I mean, I really love the uniqueness of the track. I mean, I've never driven that hard in anything, I don't think, just this last race here. You know, we were sideways, as driving as hard as we could. But no, it's a lot of fun. I'm really happy we got our template car a lot closer to where it needs to be. I feel like we've struggled here the last couple times with it, and we really made a lot of headway today. And building a good notebook, I think we'll definitely got all the big ones circled here again next year, and we'll be back to chase them.
All right, congratulations on the good finish, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you.
Guys.
Nice run for Trayton Lapsevich. Evan Shako, Trayton Lapsevich, Tyler Lupton, Tyler Reiskin, and Dylan Stovall. As you see the Electric Innovation stage getting ready to fire up. They're going to go off here in just a couple minutes. Guys, we'll wrap things up here tonight. 1 week, and that's it. The 75th season at Berlin Raceway is over. Next week it's cliche, do not miss for a whole bunch of reasons, but do not miss. It's the last one of the season. Everybody races, championship night. 2 championships still to be decided. It could come down to the final event they did last year. That's be coming up next weekend, Tyler. Top of green flag, 6:30.
Yep, Josh Fry trying to become the first ever driver in the 75-year history of Berlin Raceway to win 2 championships in the same season, limited late models and sportsmen's. Justin Roloffs, it'll be a victory lap for him. He'll lock up the Auto Value 4-cylinder title, and same goes for Austin Hall. As long as he starts the Tecton Super Late Model race next week, he will be a first-time Super Late Model champion.
Rick, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back next week. Nice job of giving us a tour of the concourse today. It was something we tried for the first time, and give fans a little bit taste of that. Now we see the whole thing lit up in the dark. That looks pretty cool.
Man, that is one of the most fun afternoons I've ever had at the best racetrack in the world. And how many racetracks are you going to see one of the band members dressing up Elmo for their post-race performance?
Well, I think that's kind of unique, I will say.
This place doesn't miss, man. I'm so ready for championship weekend. Let's go.
I'm not sure what the Elmo thing is, but with that, we'll say goodbye from Berlin as the music is going to start. Fireworks continue to shoot off. Fans are enjoying the rest of the night. You have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for supporting local short track racing. I want to thank our track owners, Don and Minnie DeWitt, our general manager, Jeff Striegel, our track president, Mike Bursley, and you for joining us and supporting Berlin and short track racing here on Flow. Thank you to NASCAR as well. Andrew and our video crew at Cinerific for the great work tonight for our whole group. A great, safe rest of your weekend. We'll see you back next Saturday night for the championship final race of the 2025 season, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, right here on Flow Racing.
Well, I could tell you guys jokes. I know you look forward to that.